Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and this is. And I screwed that whole thing up, probably because I did a whole bunch of stupid videos earlier. Welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings. Listen, I just hit the record button, and it tells me that this is not going to be recorded because I ran out of space. I didn't know that I was about to run out of space, so I guess I'm going to have to go look at that. Hopefully not after this because it'll be midnight. Anyway, hoping we get a good crowd. We do know that there is another stream that switched to today. That I'm a channel member. I should be able to have some say to say, hey, you know what? You can't go on against me. I pay to be a channel member over there. So, but I don't have any say. Let's be honest. I'm just a little guy in a big giant world, just trying to do a little toy talk. So anyway, how's everyone? I hope you guys all had a wonderful, wonderful holiday. I did absolutely nothing. That's not actually true. I did a lot. I mean, I've been on this stupid thing, trying to rewatch Big Trouble in Little China. It's a hard watch, especially two times in like a couple weeks, or I mean, a couple of days. But anyway, Big Trouble in Little China. If you're not jumping in and watching this Thursday on Punks on Film, Punks on Films, there's a link down there somewhere, or Matthew will put it in there. Join with us so we can just kind of talk about the movie. It has a lot of one-liners. It is all over the place, and it has a lot of stereotypes, which it seems like a lot of 80s movies they get to. So anyway, I want to talk to you about the Monday Night Toy Enablers. Thank you guys very much. All the super chats last week were very, I'm very thankful for them. And just so you guys know, I put it to the use that we talked about. I ordered the Chun-Li. There she is. And there is my order number, just so no one can wonder, someone can ask if I actually did. I'm a man of my word. That's not always a good thing for you guys or for other people. But anyway, when we remove that, so anyway, yeah, like I said, I hope everything's going well. Hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. Spent it with your family or spent it alone. It's kind of crazy when you are a single guy and she wants to take the kids, and sometimes it's nice to just have a nice house to yourself. Though it got extremely hot here in Michigan. I had to turn the air conditioning on. It's like Mother Nature didn't give us anything. I think I got like maybe 2 weeks where I didn't have the air or the heat on. It's just been fucking with me like crazy. So anyway, again, if there's any more toys you guys want to see me get, just say it. We'll figure something out. And I know Allison threw out the 75 likes to review a toy. Hey, you know what? Pick one. 75 likes, and if it's in the price range, we'll do it. Anyway, quickly, I do want to mention something, and this was a comment on the Viper 3-pack that I did a while back, and it was after I had done the review, and then I did the short review about the hands being, or the forearms being different color, and I've been called out numerous times on it, saying that the gauntlets aren't supposed to come off. So it really shouldn't even matter. Well, first off, that's not true. That's not true. And I was going to throw stain on my shirt right over here. Look at that. I don't know why I pointed out. Now you guys are going to see it. But they actually are. It's even on the back of the package. They have one without it. It was actually shown in the promotional videos. But someone recently made another comment and said, don't take the gauntlets off. And problem solved. And yes, that is true. And I usually have the Vipers with the gauntlets on it. But the point is, when you sit there with any brand, any toy company, I don't care who it is, when you ignore it and you just say, no big deal, whatever, it just adds to the issues that they're going to continue to have. This is No, this is not titty sweat, all right? And it's not titty sweat, all right? I don't have tits. I have pecs. It's a big difference. But when you do stuff like that, and we're going to get into a company that does that. So if you like Super 7, don't listen to this. Because when I get to Super 7, you're probably not going to like me if you're a big Super 7 honk. I'm just gonna say it right now. But anyway, there is 20 people watching. Thank you. Hit that like button. Let's say hi to the chat quickly. And I gotta scroll up pretty high here. And Ray Paz was in right away. Says interesting topic. See you tonight. Happy Memorial Day. Let me tell you something quickly. The topic is how some people gotta stop comparing toy lines, and that goes back to another comment that was made. It was actually made a couple weeks ago. Comparing Marvel Legends and saying, I'm so glad I stopped buying that crap. They could at least do some more paint. I'm happy with my Mythic Legions. Listen, night and day. I mean, night and day. You should not be comparing those two products. So that's where that whole thing prompted. I actually started writing down topics because I thought I was going to run out of them. And then, well, we got Payne's Toy Samples. I am going to be on Payne's Toy Samples, not this Friday, then the following Friday, 9:35. I don't know why it's 9:35. It reminds me of when Monday Night Raw started at 8:57, so they could start before Nitro. But whatever. Tune in. I'm going to be there. He has every week. He does a really good job. He has a nice conversation. Tony Romo is going to be on there, not the crappy quarterback, the really nice customizer. Allison Troy, a channel member, thank you very much. I do appreciate all the channel members. Matthew Matson, the moderator, again, what he says goes. And here is Tony Romo right there. This guy's like texting me to stop chatting on other YouTube and other YouTubers and get ready for my show. I know when my show starts. Boba Wave, nice to see you. And Bees Battleground. I like Allison. I've got two monitors. We're good. Thank you very much. I'm glad that I'm on one of them. It really does mean a lot. We got Super Tisso. Thank you for being here. And here's Matthew Matson. He dropped the Big Trouble in Little China. PNC Games, almost always here. Thank you very much. Ostradamus, check him out. Although he wasn't on this Saturday, so I had absolutely nothing to do. Cobra Commander. We got Radical Toys. He does a pretty interesting stream. Check it out. We got Viper Scout. And we got BMW Rhino. We're going to see BMW Rhino in a couple seconds because he did purchase some merchandise. Like I said, if you purchase any merchandise, send me it. And I'll be more than happy. And listen, if you get merchandise, if you don't like it, if you like it, send me a message because I need to know how it's going. If you guys like it, I do have some more stuff that's going to be coming out soon. Machine Man, nice to see you. And I think we're caught up with everyone. Can't go through every single. Well, I wish I could read every single chat. Once you start getting a whole bunch, it goes crazy. So if I don't get into this, we'll be here the whole time, not talking about anything. So memberships. I think everyone has mentioned it. I always hate bringing it up, but anyway, if you are a channel member, at the end of all my videos, I will post your YouTube name on the back or at the end of it. So the last 2 seconds, your names are going to pop up. This is how it looks now. There's only four members, and if you've ever looked at someone's YouTube channel and like you see the names constantly revolving around, once you hit 8 members. That's when you will start to see that. So, quickly the merchandise. Right now we have the Roman with toys and the dog with toys, along with some of the other ones. With the Zorana and the Storm Shadow doing splits. And this is BMW Rhino. He ordered the hat. You can see Roman with toys. Tony, I know you're itching for that hat right there. He said he really, really enjoyed the hat. I do have to mention, I didn't know this. There are different types of shirts that you can get Tony was really stoked on. Tony, feel free to post what they were. BMW Rhino said the other one was more like just a regular Hanes shirt. So just be careful when you do, if you do order anything, that you go through it. Quickly, I want to say hi to the magnificent Hoodlum. I don't know why I was having a hard time. And Dawning of a Decade. Thank you very much. It's nice to see you. I know I've seen you over on Oz's channel, so it's wonderful to have a new person in the community, especially a woman. Listen, we get some more women, it's pretty good. I see the analytics. There's not that many women watching the channel. Go figure. All right. So new merchandise that will go up. It's waiting in review right now. This is for all my skateboard buddies. Any former skateboarder. This is a complete rip of Vision Streetwear, and I just like it. So there you go. That's going to be one that's going to be coming up real soon. It's already uploaded, but they haven't done anything. Oops, we went backwards. And this is going to be the next one. And you've probably seen some of the pictures that I've done where I've kind of recreated the comic cover. Well, I did the same thing again, but I had to change some things. I didn't want it going out where it said G.I. Joe and it had Marvel. So I had my daughter recreate the Punk with Toys so I could drop it there so it looks like the G.I. Joe logo. And then I had her deal with the Roman. So this is actually the picture of Roman that you've seen before, where it kind of looks like whatever issue it is. And the other thing that I did, and then I will be doing, is the month that whatever shirt it comes out. So let's say, hey, you know what? You want to look back at when it was. It's going to say what month and what year it came out. So just a couple little things that I've kind of been toying with. And again, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I feel weird ever trying to push any merch, but I do appreciate it. Everything does help the channel grow. So anyway, if you are interested in the comics, listen, if you guys like the comics, I already have 2 other comics done from pictures that I did before. I just have to go now back and kind of change a few things around. But now with more and more figures that I have, that's the type of stuff that I enjoy doing. I'm better with taking a picture like that rather than some of the pictures that some of the amazing photographers do. So it's amazing what you guys do. So let's get into pickups really quick. Listen, I'm kind of lost in my rambling, but we're not even 15 minutes in. So figured I would throw this up quickly before I show it. So I did get the Mezco Destro, and I gotta say, this is you have this in hand, and you're like, you know what? Give me the other 4 right now, and give me that Firefly that you showed us, but you haven't even announced yet. I just want these, and this really goes into, yes, as you can see, I do have Destro in the back there, classified Destro. In the review, I did do a short comparison, but it's not really comparing. It's just kind of showing you the difference between a $20 figure and a $100 figure. It's night and day. But you know, you're getting what you pay for. So to move this really quick here. And I have to say, so this face here, I could not stand. I saw it. I think it's toned down from the actual shots they originally gave us. I could not stand it. I absolutely hated it. Now I have it, and I'm like, this is my favorite face. I don't like seeing Destro for some odd reason with too much character. I mean, it's supposed to be like a steel metal mask, whatever. But there's something about this that just absolutely pops. And it's not too much. And then you have the chain. I like that it, is an actual chain. This is the gun that comes in the compartment. The soft goods just look so good. For all my female, all the female watchers out there, he is packing for you guys. The holster here can be swapped out to hold this gun when you break it down. So he has just a boatload of weapons, boatload of accessories. Now the other thing that I did mention, and I did not realize when I did the review, is someone had called me up and not called me up, had messaged me and said, if you push down the head, it will fix on the Classify. So the ball joint is different, but that is a nice rubber grommet on the inside. So it will form to the right size. It just pops it right down. And it actually looks pretty good on a Classified. My biggest fear is that it would be, if it stayed on it for too long, it would kind of move out of place. So, but yeah, it looks really nice. Magnificent Head aren't the Mezcos the ones fully clothed in soft goods for the most part. Yes. So I like Wolverine and Storm Shadow. Like they have bare arms. Same with Roadblock. He has bare arms. So like with the Destro here, you can't see any of the joints. So he probably uses the exact same body as, let's say, Bishop, because it's a pretty big buck. But you can't see any seams. And what is wonderful about it is it's not like that Mego where they're just too big and they pop open. It just looks really nice. They're wonderful. They really are. So if you watch the video, I really, the review, I completely go through it. It's a very long review. There is no doubt about it. An extremely long review. I didn't expect it to be almost 50 minutes long. Here he is with the Rockets. So I threw this in here. So these are all the pictures that I had done. I don't move around all too much. I'm not going to lie. I did here. This is him selling his weapon to Zartan. I got him using the pointing finger, just kind of pointing to where the magazine is. But this, man, you get a Mezco and you really do get the whole like, wow, this is just game changer. This is completely different. I do not, this thing here I don't have because I went out and did pictures today. If you're on my Instagram or if you're on the Facebook group, Punks with Toys, you see all the pictures that I did. I went in my fire pit. We did a bonfire last night with my kids and went in the fire pit and used barbecues to do some stuff. So here we have, so anyway, that's the Destro. Once you get your hands on Mezco, get ready to start spending $100 on figures because you realize exactly how wonderful they are. So as of last week, we talked about getting the the Chun-Li, and thank you to the Monday Night Toy enablers. I had enough super chats to easily pick up the Chun-Li, so I pre-ordered the Chun-Li, and while I was at Target, I decided to look, and they had both Fei Long and Ryu. And I figured, hey, you know what? You gotta get at least one more. So I figured I'd get him, see how he is. Did a short review of him. I have to say this figure is really, really nice. This is not a soft good. I hate that this light here. Can't change it because I need a new one. So anyway, this is a nice soft, pliable rubber, very soft. So it's not cloth, but it enables him to move his hands and his arms anywhere you want. This does not get in the way. Same with the belt. It moves nice and freely, but you can stand him on one foot. You'll see in the other pictures that I did. And it really comes with, everything that you need for a Street Fighter, along with the other, his fireball hands. Probably call it fireball, so he's probably going to yell at me. The stand with the fireball, and inside you can see the hands. So it looks really, really awesome. And then he has his angry head. So, and Anthony says, "Go back and get me the Fei Long, please. I pay you." Why don't you just? Okay, I'll talk to you after. Not after today. Just message me tomorrow. Message me tomorrow. Yeah, they're on pre-order, but it showed up at Target. I was shocked. I was shocked that it was actually there, and I believe Hella Dope Toys has it too. To be honest, or Hella Dope Toys has one of them in stock. I'm not positive, but if you look, it looks like they have it in stock. So go back to the stream here. So I went into a shot of these two kind of fighting. Oh, you're right. Yes, I do have the fireball the wrong way. Oh well. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. The fireball is going the wrong way. That's what PNC was saying. I did this. He is standing on 1 foot. Just so you know, he is standing on 1 foot, so you can balance them. Like I mentioned so many times. This is the Mezco stand that came with Destro, and I have Destro laughing at Storm Shadow in the back, just because. Why not? And then here I don't know why I got the fireball the wrong way on the other one. But anyway, here is the He Skeletor taking the fireball against his shield. So they actually do fit pretty well. They're a little bit shorter than a classified figure, so you can really fit them in with either Masterverse. You can fit them in with Masterverse or with not Masterverse. I'm sorry, Origins or Classified, something like that. And then the other thing that I picked up, if you guys have Ollie's, they have so much Fortnite stuff right now. These little arcades for $2. Now, I don't think anyone really cares about Fortnite, but you can easily do some customizing. And for $2, they do come with some weapons. They're pretty chintzy, to be honest. Some of them look okay, but that's the reason why that Fortnite boat is coming and why people have seen it. I've looked. I don't have it yet at my Ollie's. But the Fortnite boat, keep an eye out. Be like $15 at Ollie's. So was I going to pay $75 for it? No. Will I pay $15 for one? Yes. Especially knowing that we have Copperhead coming. So it will definitely be one of those ones that we can kind of mess around with. So that's it. That's my pickups. That's a little bit of the stuff that I had to talk about. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's always something else. We know we'll come back to it, right? You know we're going to hit some rambling. So anyway, let's get into what is next. So if you are a Marvel Legends fan, this Amazon exclusive was dropped. I did put it in my community tab. That was a link to it. So if you are interested in this, you can check the community tab. Now, it seems like a lot of people weren't too happy with these figures, but it seems like everyone is not too happy with stuff. Hey, Matthew, quickly. Are you getting? You're the moderator. Are you getting the stuff to hide and show? I just happened to look over here and I can't really read everything that's going over here. From Anthony and Payne. I don't know why it's asking. So there's messages being held in review. So let me know if you're not getting that, Matthew. That's the first time that I've seen it. I just happened to look over there. So anyway, I know a lot of people aren't happy with what Marvel does when they give these 5-packs for $125. But it's there. It's there. And Gregory just popped up here. Thank you very much. The Fortnite boat had poor distribution, never showed up in stores, so not surprised they're being liquidated. Yes. And Gregory is the one that I used his to do the review. That Fortnite boat is better than it deserves to be. That's all I have to say about that. But yeah, if you want the Fortnite boat, if you have an Ollie's, look for it. $15. That usually means it's probably going to show up at a few other places. So I don't know some of these figures, but I wanted to throw it up there. So if you are interested, again, $125 for this pack. Amazon exclusive. Will it go down in price? You're kind of gambling whether or not it's going to go down. who knows? So I just doing one picture. Here's Spider Woman, I believe, or a Spider Woman. There's so many of these. Let's see here. Got to read what's being sent to me really quick, guys. Chat. All right. So I'm just going to. So another moderator handle it. I hope that's Matthew because I didn't make anyone more. I didn't. Sorry, guys. This is like stuff that we've never seen. So hopefully it's taken care of. All right. All right. Here we have. There he is, guys. All right, let's say hi to him. All right, come on, say hi. Come up here. There we go. Look at it. Star of the show. Look at that. Say hi to everyone. Look, oh, you know exactly where you're at. Do you want to go outside? All right. All right, so let me call for the one kid that doesn't get mad about it. At least doesn't yell about it. Let me tell you, one kid has a real big issue with it. The other one, she just deals with it. All right. Thank you, Ray Pass. Setting it off. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. We'll keep going. So, want to go outside, buddy? Thank you, Ray Paz. Again, as I mentioned to you guys, I appreciate everything, and it does go towards the channel. So, no one's making. Well, I'm not gonna say no one's making. Not that no one's getting rich off YouTube. There are people getting rich off YouTube. It's mostly the people that work at YouTube, but there are some creators. Toy ones just aren't them. All right, so let's add to the stream again. Thank you, Ray. So here we have Iron Man, another Iron Man. I don't know, do you guys need another Iron Man? I don't know. I don't even like the way this Iron Man looks. Probably because I'm more a fan of the movies and stuff. So, there you go. And then there's the Hank Pym. Now this is, I think, a buck that I think a lot of people are going to like to use as customizer. So I can definitely see people, hopefully, they give this buck again somewhere else because this is just a very generic suit. It could be a flight suit. It could be so many different things that everyone could just kind of jump on that and then go with that. So hopefully everyone will, it'll make everyone happy. So, all right. So that's it. Like I said, if you're interested in it, there's a link to my Amazon affiliate account. It does help out support the channel. All right, so Matthew, this next one is specific. Oh wait, so this is just all the figures together. I wish I could see what's coming up next. So anyway, Matthew, this is for you because you made the comment that Tekken was your jam, and this just happened to pop up. And I like to be an enabler towards other people, considering you're the one that kind of got me to order the that naked display. But Tekken, they are dropping some figures. I'm not sure if these have been out for that long. Oops, wrong one. Jeffrey Smith, howdy. Just watched the race, so I'm late. The race. What was the race? Did I miss something? But thank you. You didn't really miss anything. Just a bunch of rambling. And so it's a New York Knight that sucks. Hank Pym is the only useful one, and that's just for parts. That's exactly. I'm gonna listen. I'm not a customizer, but I can see why that buck would be so in demand, and I don't think people are going to be sitting there dropping $125. Again, they do throw in figures that I know a lot of people you just can't get. So, NASCAR. Okay, NASCAR. I do not watch NASCAR. I hope Jeff Gordon won. Or Ricky Bobby. Ricky, I love Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last. So Matthew says, I don't know about these figures though. They're way more affordable than the Storm collectibles. So you're gonna order them. I know nothing about Tekken. So the only reason that I got put in here is because you said Tekken is my jam. I will say this: they do nothing for me. Like where, like, even though I didn't play Street Fighter, I know, no, I know the French guy. I will not say that I like crepes. I will not. No. That movie is so good. Like that is really, really such a good movie. I know a lot of people don't like Will Ferrell. I don't understand how you can't. The guy, yes, sometimes he's just the same character, but he is so damn funny. He really is so damn funny. All right. So quickly, all right. Oops. Yeah, so these are the two Tekken figures. So now we're getting into Super 7, and this is the part where I told you, yeah, if you like Super 7, you're probably going to get mad at me. So you can just tune in to Geek Dead Life, or chat is probably still going. Because I have a lot of things to say, as I always do. Let's see here. Payne says, give me King, and then we will talk. Again, don't know who you're talking about. So quickly here, this is the new Powell Peralta reaction figures. Now, I've quickly gone over the other ones. Quickly gone over the other ones before. The other skateboarders. I know most of you guys don't care about skateboarding. That's why it's such a short thing. To me, these ones make more sense. It's Tony Hawk with his classic bird skull, and Mike McGill with his snake skull, Caballero with his dragon, and then the Rodney Mullen as a skeleton. And again, the other ones were concept ones, I believe. Which a lot of people didn't even know. I didn't even know a lot of them. These ones make more sense. Again, they're skateboarders. So what accessory should every skateboard figure come with? I'll wait. I think you guys all know what it is. The guy cannot make one generic skateboard. He just cannot make one generic skateboard and throw it in there so these guys can stand on a skateboard. Instead, he's going to sell you $20, a $20 figure that just stands there. Knowing that skate shops will probably buy this, and then what you're going to get is, you know what, Viper Scout? You're close to getting banned. That's a 10-minute timeout for you. But, oh, hey. Listen, if he does a Gator Rogowski, there's some accessories he could definitely do. That was in poor taste. Rhino, these are 3.75. So again, if you want, hey, listen, if you love Steve Caballero, there you have it. You love Tony Hawk. If these things were $10, I'd be all for them. There's no doubt about it. But again, they should have a skateboard. They should just have a skateboard. All right, it's so stupid that they don't. So that's my gripe on it. He'll probably do some more. But again, for $20, 5 points of articulation. Again, we've gone down that road, and we're going to go down that road even more because now he has the Rocky 5 points of articulation. You know what I've always wanted in my boxing action figures? Ones that can't bend arms. Why do I want a Rocky figure that can't box? Can anyone tell me? I mean, at least he comes with boxing gloves. I mean, which is one step more than what the skateboarders don't come with their skateboard. But just explain to me, why the hell would I want these 5 points of articulation And if anyone goes back to Star Wars and being like, well, Star Wars was 5 points of articulation. Yeah, well, that was, the late 80s. And I know that they still make that vintage collection, I believe is what it is. But that's so it can go with that collection. There's no reason, in my opinion, for this. Again, it's just me bitching. You know my feeling on Super 7. Don't worry, it gets better. Or should I say it gets worse. Then he has his Return of the Living Dead. I only put these in because this may actually be a figure that doesn't need articulation. Because zombies just kind of walk around and don't really do very much. Viper's kind of eat lightning and crap thunder. Even Mickey had some sort of articulation in real life, right? Maybe he's based on Rocky from ColecoVision. All right, see? Okay, so I guarantee you he has not thought of this, but maybe you guys should be in charge of Super 7 because you would have some sort of idea. But they did do these Return of the Living Dead, and I thought, okay, well, these are some reaction figures that make kind of sense, right? They just kind of sit there. Oh, you know what, Machine Man? You're right. Han Solo had a bent arm. No reason why. Why not? Hey, that's because he shot first. I have to say that one always is really weird because he was the only one that had any type of bend, correct? I can't think of any of the other figures that used to do that or used to have any type of bend, right? They all had a straight arm except for that one Han Solo out of nowhere. And then if you remember that, I don't know if you guys ever did this. I did. The Han Solo Hoth, where his blaster was for his holster, it had like a little it had the strap that was supposed to hold it down. If you cut that, you could kind of put the gun on it, and it would just sit there. And I thought it was really, really awesome. I thought that was super cool. I also used to use tie wraps, and I tie wrap it, and I put their guns in it as holsters. But then again, then they would fall. I lost Lando Calrissians into a Storm Drain. Wasn't the greatest holster, but as a kid, you thought they were pretty cool. Say hi to Crash, another channel member. Thank you very much. I haven't seen you around very much, so it's great to see you. All right. So, the next is the Cheetara Thundercat Glow in the Dark. Again, if you like Super 7 and you don't like hearing me be negative, now's your time to leave. I'm just giving you guys fair warning. So, if you really want to see an angry video, go watch my Cheetara review. Now, this is the same Cheetara. What you see here is what you're going to get when it comes to articulation. She has absolutely no articulation, and for a figure that is a cheetah, which is a cat, and runs, you probably want to have some articulation. But it's almost like he took articulation away. And before anyone says anything, we've all heard his reasoning. I'm not a big fan of his reasoning, that it clashes with certain things, but whatever. I also worry about if it's actually going to glow. Viper Scout, this is a glow in the dark. I don't know if Cheetara ever glowed in the dark. I know that the snake eyes that I have that came with the sled that's supposed to glow in the dark doesn't glow in the dark. I would probably have to get it about 100 miles from the sun and probably let it sit there for an hour to get a slight glow to it. It's crap. Allison says, I need these, but I also hope they figure out how to do the humans. I need the punks. I believe you were talking about the reaction figures. I wouldn't have a problem with the reaction figures if they were $10, in all honesty. So here's the Cheetara. Now, she's $65, so $10 more because of glow in the dark price. She comes with less than what the other Chitara came with, which is, again, $55 and probably about $40 too expensive, in my opinion. Again, me being negative. Here's how she looks. I think this thing looks awful. It does not have a sleek body. The hips are huge. And they're huge in person too. That's what she said. I really need a soundboard. I need a soundboard. Here's how she's supposed to glow. I'm gonna tell you. I need to see a review when this thing comes out, and I want to see if it actually glows. Because I just don't think that it's going to. Here she is. This is about the best stance you can get. Straight legs, straight arm. This is the articulation that you get when it comes to the Super 7 Ultimates. Okay, we'll get to that. All right, so I don't have any pictures of this, but this is something I got to discuss. So over the weekend, on Geek Men Masters of the Thunder Nerds, it's probably, I was going to say this is probably the biggest boost that they'll ever get by me giving their name. Although I heard Toy Habits, they mentioned them. So if you want to go check out Geek Men Masters of the Thunder Nerds, they had Brian Flynn on to talk. I don't know, a line that's coming out, I forget. Well, someone had asked the question about the G.I. Joe face sculpts for why is this not? It's so bugging me that this thing is still saying not showing. Sorry. So someone asked him about the face sculpts for Wave 2 of the G.I. Joes that are unpainted. And Brian Flynn said, yeah, I don't know why that is. They were supposed to be painted. Our prototypes were, but when they came from the factory, they weren't unpainted, or they were unpainted. Series 1 is painted, and Series 3 is painted. But Series 2 isn't. And that's kind of some of the issues that you have when you don't have someone, over there. And then he got sidetracked. He never once mentions, hey, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. If you bought these, we're going to send you out another figure. Or not a figure, the face sculpt, or whatever else needs to be painted. I don't know what it is. And if you bought them from BBTS or Entertainment Earth, send us your receipts. We're going to take care of you. But they don't. Now, I understand they don't have someone over there in China like they used to. But here's my question. I don't, hey, you guys know my feelings with Bobby Vala and Valaverse. I don't see him having a problem with figures coming out that aren't painted, right? A matter of fact, when he does have a problem, he usually addresses it. Mezco, any problems with them things not being painted? NECA? Anyone else? Why is it? You know what? Let's turn this off really quick. Why the hell is it that it's only Brian Flynn and Super 7 that have problems with paint on their $55 Ultimates, right? Well, first off, they're the only reason why I have the problem with the Ultimates because they make that. Why are they the only ones that have such a problem with their figures being painted properly and their faces looking right? And why is Brian Flynn the only one that goes, what are you supposed to do? Like, he's seriously like, hey, you know what? It sucks. But what am I supposed to do, right? Well, you know what? As a company, you eat the cost. And he actually talked about that a little bit, about how they're about ready to cancel a wave of Disney figures because they didn't get enough. They didn't get enough pre-orders. That's pretty messed up, in my opinion. You're just going to cancel it, or you're going to give back the money. You're going to say, hey, now you get store credit. I don't know how he does stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't get it. Again, he's the only company that is a major company. And don't let him give you any bullshit that he's not. because they're a major company. They're in Target. I can walk in and buy Ultimates now at Best Buy. Inside Best Buy, they have Ultimates, right? Which would be nice because then you can walk in and go, hey, you know what? Look, this Flint, his face isn't painted. Suck it. But he has so many issues. The Green Power Ranger, awful. Andre the Giant, like nothing like Andre the Giant. There's so many issues. Going back to the Chitara and especially the Tiger. That was the one that really set me off. You want to see me get angry? Go watch that video. So I don't understand why he's the only one. But my issue is that once again, this goes to the enabling. These people just enable them. Oh well, no big deal. You have a lot of these toy YouTubers that will make excuses or just glance over it like it never happened. Like I can see that face looks like shit. That it's not painted, right? Why is that? I can see that Green Ranger. I don't even collect anything to do with Power Rangers. I can see that those faces are not proper. But what are you going to do about it? You ain't going to do nothing about it, right? You just tell your customers, hey, suck it up. Just deal with it, right? I had to deal with it. Well, how about you guys move out of San Diego? Hey, listen, a lot of stuff that Bobby Vallis says that drives me nuts. I think he gets real personal, and I kind of get personal with Brian Flynn because I think he comes out and he lies to people flat out. All right? Well, you know what? It's time to move out of San Diego where it's super expensive. Right? I mean, you can move into... I see people... Again, this is going to be out of toy realm. I don't understand why people move their businesses into Detroit, because if you move into Detroit, the people that work there, even if they don't live in Detroit, they have to pay Detroit taxes. So let's say you live in Troy, Michigan, and you work in Detroit, you're going to pay taxes working in Detroit along with your taxes in Troy, Michigan. Well, I would not move a business there just because of that. Not to mention pay all these other types of taxes. Not to mention, I don't even want to be in Detroit anyway. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other issue. But again, I'm sick and tired of seeing it. He always has some sort of BS excuse, you know? So when he does get called out, and I do think, listen, when someone is constantly calling someone else out, you start to roll your eyes. But when I do listen to Bobby Vallis call him out, he's calling him out as another owner and how he handles things. And I have to agree 100%. Crash, thank you for the $2 super chat. You know Super 7 Bat is your favorite? Yes. He sits over there. If I don't move him, he won't fall over. He was missing stuff. I can't tell you how many times someone said they're missing something in an Ultimate, and there's just really no way to get it back. So again, I started with the reaction. You heard my anger with the reaction. You know, again, let's do reaction skateboard figures, but let's not give them skateboards, because that little skateboard that you're going to make is going to be one piece of plastic, right? Like that's going to break you. It's going to be the same mold. All you're going to do is show the graphic on it, right? But no. And Crash, I remember. I do remember your thing with the Ultimate bat that you had, the SDCC bat. So, and I have to say this. For the most part, seeing Wave 1 of those Ultimate G.I. Joes, they look pretty good. But I have a problem with it. Hold on, I'm going to see. Viewmaster Figure It Action Figure Show and Tell. That is a hell of a name. Super 7 not taking responsibility for QC. But my thing is, why are they still buying from them? If customers would just stop and make a stance, this would hurt their pocket, make them take action. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. And I'm not saying I'm never going to buy anything from Super 7 again. I will pick and choose at times. I'll be damned if we're going to buy things right away. Listen, if you did not buy the G.I. Joe Wave 1 right away, it came up on Entertainment Earth for the 4 of them for $165. If you use my code, if you use my Entertainment Earth code, you get 10% off of that, plus free shipping. So why the hell would anyone spend $55 and pre-order these things? And you look at, well, BBTS will start getting rid of them. You'll notice that. Talk to a toy owner and like a toy shop owner, that they can't do nothing because they just sit there. They don't even want to buy them. And then again, you look at Entertainment Earth, and they're like, "Oh God, please just get rid of these." It happens with the Turtles. It's already happened with the Joes. They just got the second wave out. But again, I'm with you, Viewmaster. I'm with you. And again, I'm not saying I'm never going to buy stuff. I'm kind of a hypocrite in some of those ways. But I won't go all in on something anymore because you get tired of the same stuff over and over and over. Oscar Thomas says, I don't buy Super 7 unless I need some hands. Well, the same could be said for Battleverse. Remember this? The Vase of Valahan. I got less because I sold a few of Series 1. So I got some less hands in there. I thought that was going to get filled up, but now I've kind of jumped off the Valaverse thing. All right. So we got to get into this. This seems to be causing some controversy, and there's a lot of people that seem to be upset about this. Or just not, I don't know. I don't want to say upset. That's probably the wrong word. So this is the ghillie suit from Gridiron Studios. And I saw the pictures of it. I thought it looked really good. I saw it side by side next to the NECA. The NECA holiday set that looks like a wreath that you pull apart to make a ghillie suit, and I thought it looked better. So I was sent these pictures by Matthew. He got it. And I think Matthew, if you're not following him on Instagram, he does wonderful photography. So this is not some guy who just is going to bag on Gridiron. He buys a lot of their stuff. But this is kind of obviously in a blue light here. This is in a different type of light. I cannot not see that it looks like a headdress from like the Predator or the Venus and William, or Serena and Venus Williams, the Williams sisters. But looking at this, it does not look very good. He is not the only person that has messaged me saying that they're not happy with this ghillie suit. And by just looking at this, I gotta say I'm not overly impressed by it. Just looking at the top up here, I mean, it looks like someone put braids on like a sock hat and just kind of, ran it down. So I'm just not overly impressed by this. I probably wasn't going to order it anyway. But the fact that I have two people that hit me up, Matthew being one of them, I won't mention the other person because I don't know if he wants to be mentioned, although he said it a few times. If he's still in the chat, he's more than welcome to. They both do great photography, but Matthew he has seriously some of the best toy photography you're going to see. Okay, so all right, so it's this guy, Bees Battleground. I'm not a fan of Gridiron ghillie suit either. I hate the rucksack frame they use. So there's the other guy. And I thought it looked really good in the promotional pictures this year. And the fact that it is, what is this, beachhead with what looks to be a Gridiron helmet on? Is that right? I'm sorry, not a Gridiron helmet. A Valaverse helmet, and then a Gridiron suit. I'm surprised this thing just didn't blow up in flames. All those mix and match things. I didn't have a chance to go through. Listen, I kind of got busy, and see, it's a Vala helmet. Yeah, so I'm surprised that thing just didn't blow up. Mixing and matching those three companies, man. If only like a Super 7 hand you could throw on there. All right, so Machine Man says it looks wrong, like the string isn't hanging down over the face like it should. It does not. The pictures that they showed, in my opinion, looked really good. What I'm looking here, yeah. Yes, Viewmaster, that's it. It looks like a weave women get. Exactly. Or it looks like the Predator, like the that Predator-looking figure that Classified has coming out. I can't think of the name. It was after my time, so bear with me on that. But again, I just had someone drop off some Gridiron stuff that I'll be doing reviews on later on this week, probably, depending on when my rock and roll comes in. And also, guys, did you notice there was no Masters of the Universe, stuff going in today? There wasn't any Masters of the Universe news, so which I normally put at the beginning, but I spared you guys all. But some of you just don't really care for. I see. So B says, I see what they're going for, but I think it just kind of fell short of the mark. I agree. Listen, and I'm not upset with that they're trying, and some things don't work out. But unfortunately, it's an expensive screw up. Now, if they only screw up every now and then, I mean, you can kind of, you can accept that. If it was all their stuff, well, that's when you start going. Now, Crash, unfortunately, I will not be. My kids and I are headed to Disney at the end of July, so let's just say that the funds are not there to get to Joe Fest. I'm really hoping for next year that I'll be able to. I would really, hopefully we can maybe just get a big group of guys from the channel. I know there's already a whole bunch of people going down there. Again, I think it would be really cool. I've never gone to a convention like that. I mean, I've gone to other, toy conventions, but I think it'd be really good to do and meet a lot of you guys. I would really love to meet a lot of you guys. And some of these people, I talked to Matthew literally face to face. I talked to him face to face, talked to Tony face to face. I chat with you. You get to feel like you actually know a lot of a lot of people. So, am I going to PowerCon? No, because there's no money. And Michiganders do not take and stay in Ohio with Michigan plates because Ohio State fans are the worst. No, I actually kind of thought about that, but like I said, the funds just aren't there right now. You start looking at how much Disney costs, and it's just me. So it's me and my own little paycheck that's taking the kids there. So yeah, I would love to. Oh, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate. Like I said, hopefully next year we can, kind of figure. This is like the last big vacation, myself and my kids. So I'm like, hey, you know what? We're gonna make it there. Hopefully, I'll have enough money to get gas home, or else you'll be seeing me doing like super chats, driving on the way back. Going, hey, I need money for gas just to get home. That was a tournament Christmas wreath stuck together. I agree. I mean, I said that, man. Like, it looks like it. It looks like you walked through Target and you went like you saw a Christmas decoration. Went, that would look great as a. That would look great as a ghillie suit. Thank you, Johnny Reno. Nice to see you in here. The Christmas peacock. I think Gridiron will be better than Valor's Christmas tree, but we shall see. Again, we will see. Again, it's just the way it all works. So who knows? Master Versal Toy Hunter. Evening, nice to see you. What time is it over where you're at? It's always interesting when I get the other guys from other countries that are just here. And I wish, where is Frostbite and Shark at? I'm going to be on their show Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Very, very early, but it's like 9 p.m. Sunday over there. I'm waiting for them to do something. So next week is going to be a really, really, really busy week for me. It's 2 p.m. Okay, all right. So shouldn't you be at work right now? That's like Tuesday, right? Was it Tuesday 2 p.m. or is it Monday still 2 p.m.? No, I'm not looking at anything to do with the ramen toy with the Marshall Bravestar. I don't know anything about Bravestar. I kind of dabble in enough things, Viewmaster, where like if I know a little bit about it and I know it's like popular, I'll talk about it. With the ramen, like with the Marshall Bravestar stuff, I don't know anything about it, so I don't even want to like go into that. But if more, I mean, seriously, if people want me, I mean, I would definitely look into it. All right, so let's talk about Balaverse. And so now we're going to get the Action Force, the mail away item instructions. Well, I've already talked to a few people. I'm not a fan of this. I love the idea. Mexican Tail. Hello. Okay, you are our first timer, right? You got it. I remember that name, right? Because Tony and I are the only Mexicans here, I think. So it's nice to see another Mexican, if you're even Mexican. And if you're not, it doesn't matter. You're a toy fan. So the Action Force mail away item instructions. So he's been talking about a mail away for quite some time. And he finally gave what it's going to be. So you need 20 action points, which, again, you get 2 action points per figure, which means that you have to spend how much to get the opportunity to get this figure? Like $300, right? So, yeah. So pretty much $331, right? $330 for the option to get this figure. So basically what you need is the item is $15 plus the 20 action points. So for $320, you have the opportunity to buy a figure for $15. You have to have your actual action points, yada yada yada, whatever. They have to be cut out and sent in on your own dime. That I understand. And the customer is responsible for all that stuff. He's not responsible for anything lost. That I understand. You can't, he can't be held responsible if you lose anything. So you can only get 2 items, which means you'd have to spend $600, almost $700 to buy 2 figures for $30. And so this is where you have to send it. So here's the other thing, and this is what really, really, really bothers me and bothers some other people I know. Action figures, nice to see you. Action figs, nice. Action figures, how are you? I know I just recently saw you. So he hasn't really announced who the figure is now. At least I don't think so. Maybe he has. No one's hit me up. But we have an idea of what we think that it is. So for $320, you can buy a $15 figure, which will probably be some sort of repaint, and you also have to pay $8 shipping and handling. Now, I understand the shipping and handling like you having to pay shipping and handling. In my personal opinion, if you've bought this much product and you're sending in these action points, this is something that should be a freebie. All right? And you pay the $8 shipping and handling. But now it's $15. So in all, you're going to be spending $23 for a mail away figure. Now, here's the thing that really kind of sets some people off. He's also going to have these at Joe Fest. And so he put in here, if I pick it up at Joe Fest, we still pay the $8 shipping. Definitely two for display, whatever. Valivers, yes. The shipping is also for the handling fee for our employees processing your points. That is bullshit. There, I said it. It's bullshit. It's shipping and handling. If you are going to Joe Fest and you're paying your $15 after you've already spent $350 on these fucking goddamn figures, just give them the goddamn fucking figure for $15 that you're already picking up, right? What? You don't need to go outside again, do you? I'm not yelling at you. I love you. But to me, listen, I've said it before. This whole line is all repaints, and that's kind of the reason why I'm not all in on it anymore. It's all repaints. Jeremy Kimberlin, let's see, Bobby should eat the cost on this one. Nice of you to join us. Thank you very much. Listen, I think that the figure should be free and you have to pay shipping. All you're doing is repainting the figure. And you're going to do, boom, another face sculpt. That's awesome. I get it. But, and again, people are going to eat this stuff because they eat up everything Valivers. We get it. But this is a huge fucking problem of mine. These are constant repaints. I know you're finally going to get a new mold after 2 or 3 years. But the fact that you have to pay shipping and handling if you're at Joe Fest and he has it. And I think this is bull crap. And we don't even know what the figure is. Now, he did show this figure. Again, this looks like it is a blowback with one eye, obviously being a scout for the sniper or the lookout, whatever. Same body. Again, another repaint, just camouflaged up. It looks really good. I'm not going to put down that blowback figure because it's seriously one of the best figures that I've ever had in my entire life. But again, it is a repaint. Once again, another repaint. You think Master of the Universe Origins reuses bucks. Fuck, dude. Like nothing. All right? And nothing. All right? But no one seems to understand. Like no one seems to want to look at it and go, oh, yeah, you know what? Oh, Anthony, what was that? It did. Sorry, I'm getting pissed. Like I'm sorry, dude. Like, I just think it's... yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. Listen, those people already don't even like me. I get it, dude. I don't get it. I mean, I get it. They don't like me. I don't give a shit, you know. But there comes a point where it's like, listen, give back. All right, we understand you're going to give a vehicle that's going to be $200 that's stripped down. And then you can buy accessory kits for $100. It's going to make it $300. I don't know that for sure, but I'm throwing it out there. Someone will probably come in here and say, you don't know shit. You're right, I don't know shit. I'm just a streamer that's watched more than enough stuff. All right, anyway. But most people think that it's going to be this Chuckles figure. That's right, Chuckles, I said it. Now, before anyone says, hey, that would be a new buck, it wouldn't be a new buck. This would be the same buck that Trigger uses and Sergeant Slaughter uses. So it would, again, be the reusing of the wife beater buck. And again, I get it. I mean, I'm fine reusing stuff. That's how you work your way up. I mentioned it on Hasbro, on the G.I. Joe team. They reuse the same stuff. I get it. I have a huge issue that no matter what you're doing, if you're asking people to send in those Action Force stuff, I'm going to remove this really quick. If you're asking people to send in the Action Force, now you have, let's say they keep the boxes. You have devalued that figure, which again, to me, I don't care. Like, listen, but I keep my boxes. But you've devalued that, and then you're sending it, and then you're sending it in. But the amount that you're paying, and then you have to pay for the shipping. I think the figure should be, I think it should be one of those like, hey, you know what? Thank you very much. You have supported this brand. There are so many of these figures. This is how many that we're doing. You send this in. Boom. We're going to send you this figure. It's $8 for the shipping and handling. We can't cover that. So, Action Fig says, I love him trying to give the nostalgia of flag points, but $15 plus shipping definitely seems high for a mail-away figure. Thank you. Again, the idea of it is really nice. And I understand there's got to be a logistics nightmare. They talked about it with flag points. Like, it became a complete logistical nightmare. Now, we live in a different day and age. We get that. We live in a different day and age. It's nothing like that anymore. But again, to me, it's like, hey, I understand that if he decided to give a figure away, he can't eat the cost on all the shipping. I get it. And I don't think that he should. I mean, listen, when people bitch about Hasbro, listen, they're in the business to make money, not to lose it. But again, now you're charging people $15 for a figure because it's probably your cost to make the figure. A matter of fact, it's probably less than that, considering all those molds are already done. You're not doing a new mold. If you look at the molds, they're all the same molds. Almost all the overlays are the exact same. Some of them, they just change it. Some have the magazines, some have the holsters on it. They change that around, but it's almost all the exact same, vests and everything. Again, for some odd reason, people are blinded by it, and I've just become bored with the figures because the same figure over and over and over, and there's no nostalgic feel for me. For me, there's no nostalgic feel for it. But I've spent too much time on this. That's what I've done. But that's just my problem. And then to tell people, hey, you know what? If you show up to Joe Fest, you still got to pay the $8. So you know what I'd rather you say? How about you just say this? It's $23 free shipping and handling. That's what you should do. When Ticketmaster says, hey, your ticket is $30 for the concert, but hey, then there's this $10 fee for this, and $5 fee for this, and $5 fee for this, and it ends up being $50. I would rather you just say it's $50. End of story. Fight with Codenames. Nice to see you. So talk about laser paints, man. That's not cool. I didn't say anything about laser pants. Maybe you're talking to someone else. I hope you're talking to someone else because I didn't even bring up his name. So again, I don't listen. I don't know the people. I know what I see and things, and in my opinion, things don't add up. I'm not in the business. I'm in the business of how things look when I'm sitting here and I'm going through all this stuff. But again, if you said, hey, it's $23, again, I would say it's too much. It's BS. But hey, you might as well just say the figure is $23 and we ship for free. I'd much rather see that. All right. Okay, I'm gonna relax now. What are they doing, Bad Boys? Maybe that's what Will Smith should have done when Chris Rock was putting his wife's name in his mouth. Just stop and went, whoosh, whoosh. All right. Anyway. That's the action figure. Lawrence, I agree. Just tell me the full price, and I'll decide if I want to buy it. You know what? That's just it. That's like, and I've said this before about other companies. Like, when it comes to shipping and handling, like when I order from BBTS, it's $4 shipping and handling. That's what it is. I know that's what it is. If I order from Valaverse, it's $8 shipping and handling. I know that. I want to know exactly, like, before I have, like, I don't want to go through and create an order and I want to send it to Mount Clemens, Michigan and be like, okay, well, this is how much it's going to be. Well, you know what? That is half the price of the damn figure. I just wasted, 5 minutes of my life creating an order just to see. So I'm with you. I'm with you, man. And again, I know you're a big fan of Action Force Action. And I get it because I've had all the figures except for a couple of I didn't have the exclusives, and I only had one Sergeant Slaughter because, well, my Sergeant Slaughter is. You guys know my feeling on Sergeant Slaughter. He's a turncoat to turn his back on Hulk Hogan and the USA, and on this day of all days. Anyway, but I mean, I've come to like so many other lines And for me, the Action Force is really supposed to be a filler line for the classified, but now that there's just so much classified, I don't know how much of it I'm gonna keep because I don't have a connection. I'll probably still do reviews on it because my buddy, I do believe, is still all in, so he'll lend me the figures to do my reviews. Anyway, all right, guys. Whew. All right. So that is an hour and 15 minutes. Let's see. New York says that maybe Will Smith should have kept his cool and stepped to Chris later. And maybe he should have realized who his wife is. Didn't I just say that? I said that, New York. Listen, side note. Have you heard, like, when I hear Will Smith is, like, upset that Eddie Murphy made a joke about him, and then he's upset that Chris Rock can't he just didn't let it go. Like, Chris Rock didn't say anything about it for a year. And to be honest, even in his stand-up, it wasn't until the end that he even addressed it. Like, you got up on live TV and slapped a man, then accepted an award, and never once said, dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, I lost it. And like the fact that Will Smith is like upset that people won't let it go or that they're making jokes about it is very comical to me. All right. Let's get on to some good stuff. And that is G.I. Joe. And I know, don't get me wrong, G.I. Joe can rehash a lot of stuff too. This is Hiya Toys, and this is the look at basically the classified, what should have been the classified, or whatever the game was. What was the game? This is what the Storm Shadow was supposed to look like. Eric Thurman, I cooked for Will Smith after I Am Legend premiere. I hope he didn't slap you. I hope you kept his wife's name out your mouth. Chris made bank and looks like the bigger man. You know what I said about this when it happened? He walked up to Chris Rock. If that would have been another guy, like The Rock, I bet his ass would have never walked up on stage and even approached The Rock. He would have let The Rock just say whatever. Matter of fact, he probably would have let The Rock bang his wife right in front of him. I think he does it anyway. Okay. This is the most we've ever talked about Will Smith on this show. Action Fix says Will was trying to prove he was a man to his wife, but she already another real man. We all do stupid things because I love her. Yeah. Okay. So Ray Paz, he's a friend of mine. I'm not going to let someone talk about him without saying something. Sorry, but not sorry. Okay. So listen, I don't want to get personal with certain things. The reason why I will specifically talk about, let's say, Bobby, and Brian Flynn is because they are specific owners of companies and they are constantly on different streams. All right. And they are very vocal in the community. It is nothing personal against them because basically I don't know them. I don't know them. I could really go on and on. So yeah, let's not, I don't want this ever to devolve into where we have issues. Again, if you say something about someone that because they said something, then so be it. Like if they mentioned something, if they said something on one of their streams and you want to say, hey, I don't agree with that. But as long as you're not getting personal, even though I kind of get personal with Brian Flynn, but I think Brian Flynn is a liar. And I mentioned before, I really want to like the guy because he is a punk rock and a skater. He just gives me a bad name. All right. So that's enough. No more talking about Laser Pants. All right. Matter of fact, I don't think Laser Pants ever even been brought up on this stream. Okay. So no more Laser Pants. Anyway, now Haya decided to go with a full arm band, a full arm tattoo. I'm not a huge fan of this Storm Shadow. I don't really care for the mask for a ninja. Now, I've mentioned before that I believe that the classified Cobra Trooper in infantry, I would love to see that made in an O-ring or a 4-inch figure because I think the mask looks really cool. I don't like it on a ninja. I do like the fact that they were trying to do something different, but this is originally what the classified Storm Shadow was supposed to look like. Now, obviously, we've seen that the way classified was supposed to go when it came to Operation Blackout, right? I think that was it. This is what the figures were supposed to be made after. So what Haya, obviously, they've been working on this for quite some time. They were creating figures that were going to be built, that were going to be 4-inch figures that were made, in my opinion, that were going to be made that looked like classified figures. But now they gave it, and now we see that the whole arm is tattooed on. I wouldn't be interested to see it. I did talk to somebody. And I am hopefully we'll be getting these when they come out. Again, it is one of the wonderful things about this new world that we live in. It's not even a new world, but this world that we live in where you do a YouTube show and you meet people in different countries that have access to stuff like this. I hopefully will be getting this once it comes out. But what we did see was the return of the Nerf gun. So this is the Haya Beachhead, and you can clearly see that it is pretty much based directly off of the classified version. This is a 4-inch figure. For some odd reason, a 4-inch Nerf gun doesn't look as stupid as the 6-inch one. But to be honest, I'll be replacing that because I got hundreds of guns, especially for my for my O-ring and 4-inch figures. I think it looks really good. Some people have already kind of made comments that it's kind of like Power of the Force, really big upper body and thin lower bodies. I guess I understand what they're saying. But yeah, Ray Pat, listen, hey, no worries, it's done. Listen, who got blocked? Listen, shit happens. It's going to air towards anyone. Listen, shit happens. We move on as long as shit doesn't keep happening. That's what Matthew's there for. So, anyway, I think this looks really good. You can see even the sidearm. Even the sidearm, it looks exactly like the classified one. I like the way the body looks. I think this is a really nice looking figure. It's just a really nice looking figure. It's $25. Hopefully we'll be able to get it here. Oh, I'm sorry. Ray Pat is saying he blocked him. So he's still here. All right. Hey, listen. Hey, if you don't like someone, just listen. I want people to understand. If you don't like someone, don't feel bad about blocking someone because you don't want to see their stuff or you think that it's going to turn into a fight. And I'm talking about on any social media. There's nothing wrong with just saying, hey, you know what? I don't really want to deal with this person. And in all honesty, I've heard people talk about it on other YouTube streams where they're like, listen, trolls aren't even worth it. And again, I'm not saying either one of you are a troll, but if you don't like someone, don't feel bad about it. Just move on. Anthony, again, 25 or 4-inch, no thanks. I kind of understand if Haya was maybe a bigger company, but this is an imports normally a much smaller line and very detailed. So, but I understand it is 25, and if you're not collecting, if you're not, yeah, that's what she said. Also, Tony. Oh my God! I spent. There's no way that they knew on The Office that was going to be that is going to live forever. That's what she said is going to absolutely live forever. But I think this looks really good. Again, I still don't like the Nerf gun, but it looks better maybe because it's smaller. Maybe once you have it in hand, you'll be like, ugh, not so good. But who knows? And I know people do not like the beret over the balaclava. It doesn't bother me. I know Matthew does not like it, but it does not bother me at all. So I think so. A lot of people are mentioning about the $25 for these figures, 4-inch figures. I actually think like $25 to what 28 is actually a reasonable price for a smaller company when it comes to the 4-inch figures, because you're not going to be creating as many. And I think that's where a lot of people, have a problem with it. And I understand what people are saying when it comes to that. When you look at Classified, they're selling for $25 in Black Series. But when you come with the smaller companies, it's just like, when you look at the what are they called? Like Mythic Legions, they're $50. Or Boss Fight Studios, you're paying, $30, $35. You're paying a little bit more. And that's because it's a smaller company that's not going to make nearly as many. And if they hold their value, that is a huge thing. I'm not one that wants to turn around and sell my stuff, but when something holds its value, it is one of those things where you pick it up and it's like, 6 months, a year down the road, you're like, hey, I got to get rid of some stuff. I really didn't go down this line, but I can get what I paid for it. It really does mean a lot in my opinion. So, but this is the Beachhead. I was kind of surprised they threw Beachhead. You thought we would have seen like a Destro or something, but it doesn't really bother me. All right. And there's just another shot of the side, sidearm, the holster. So, all right. And here's everything that it comes with. He does come with an extra set of hands. So it looks like he has punching hands. He's got trigger hands. Again, this is the Classified turned into a 4-inch figure for the most part. And then they have the stand, which, again, I'm not a big fan of stands. Smaller figures like that, I understand. But I have like Zorro sitting up there. He sits up there perfectly, and he's a 4-inch figure, so you don't always need stands. I think I've gone over that before. All right. So as of the street date for these Classified figures, which haven't even been released yet, for some odd reason, Hasbro hasn't even told us that these are coming out yet. So we have Tiger Force Dusty and the Python Patrol Crimson Guard. June 1st is supposed to be the street date. So I know everyone is going to be sitting at their Targets looking for these right away. Not saying I'm going to be, but I think June 1st is Thursday, right? I also want to mention this. I know a lot of people have mentioned about how it's really stupid that the Crimson Guard can be a Python Patrol and not be Crimson. It never really dawned on me as a kid that he was called a Crimson Guard because of his color. I just always thought that's what his name was. Like, he was a Crimson Guard. And then, from the Python Patrol. It wasn't until, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, we were sitting at a toy store with my son, and he went, why is that Crimson Guard yellow? And I was like, what are you talking? And I'm like, oh, that's when it really actually hit me. It was the name of the color. But that's what I'm saying. Like to me, a Crimson Guard, it was like, it wasn't because of the color. that they were just like the elite Crimson Guards. It wasn't until when I was older that my son pointed out, and I went, "Oh yeah, they are Crimson." Because as a kid, they were just red. So, but anyway, if you are looking, supposedly June 1st. Now, I will say this. We all know the Target is a shit show when it comes to stuff being dropped up there. But the one thing about it is, barbecues like showed up right away. So hopefully they show up. Hopefully we can get them. I'm sick and tired of seeing all these people with all the fucking Crimson Guards, and I'm going, I have one. I have three. They're all the same. Sure, it would be nice to have those other ones that everyone's had for months. Or at least acknowledge that they're there. All right, so I threw this in here. This is from Mr. Popkinski. This is his actual pictures. It's an actual picture of his torpedo. I thought it looked awesome, so I asked him, hey, do you mind if I use this? And then he sent me a couple more pictures, and he's kind of doing a whole thing. A whole thing here. So here you have torpedo. He has them like lifting up. I mean, this just looks awesome. Like I thought this display was done, like this photography was done really, really awesome. So I just wanted to throw it on there. If you're not following Mr. Popinski on Instagram, go over there. Not in this country. Not that it matters, but that's probably why he has to figure. It's weird when like you don't know and then you find out. That is one of the reasons why I kind of want to do that one show. I want to do another show, I said, every other Thursday. We're getting closer. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. And here he is just kind of climbing up. And his display is awesome. Like, I don't know. I want this display. So if anyone wants to send me this display, please feel free to. All right. So let's get into the HasLab. I have to say that I really, really do enjoy what the G.I. Joe team is doing with the hints towards the HasLab. And the reason why I say that is because I just think it's if it was just like they threw one out, it would kind of suck. But the fact that they're doing this on a consistent basis, it just gives you this like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. I just don't want it to be Ovaltine. I don't want the code to be Ovaltine. So, yeah. I mean, seriously, this. I don't know what like this blue is that he used, and this was the only thing that I saw that he had. And when I asked him if I could use it, he sent me these other two pictures. So I don't even know if he put these other two up there. It's obviously telling a story. Of course, now I'm like, where's the rest of your story at? Yes, drink your Ovaltine. And we have devolved out of a crummy commercial. Yes. All right. So anyway, we have this incoming transmission. So we should be getting another one. They usually drop one on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I know it's not right. It's obviously not on Monday before I go live. So here we have Storm Shadow, and a lot of people have mentioned that it's really cool that they are making Hasbro like part of the story. So in some ways, Hasbro is part of the canon for G.I. Joe now. No, it isn't. Not the bridge layer. You know, you people in the bridge layer. What if it was something like that? There's a dragonfly. You'll shoot your eye out. If it has a firing missile, that would be absolutely awesome. Allison here says, I love that they're doing these teases and codes that have started realizing smarter ways to engage with fans on social media. I'm starting to declassify way more lately because of the extra bits. They're really cool. Again, it's cool that they are interacting. You really don't see it with the Star Wars team. Matter of fact, I think the Star Wars team does everything they can to avoid any type of social media because they're so scared of the backlash. And you really don't have it with the Marvel team all that much either. And look at this, an actual star, a guy that's been in movies. Travis has graced us with his glory. I'm gonna guess that he has a show sometime this week, maybe on a Friday, maybe on a Saturday, maybe at 9, maybe at 10. Just kidding, Travis. But I'm not. Oh, hey, yeah. Oh, how's the game going? How is the game going, guys? So anyway, back to where we're at. Like, we have really gone down a yeah. So anyway, Hasbro has pretty much become the a part of the G.I. Joe lore, which I think is super cool here. Here you have him climbing. I don't know why they did such a cartoonish Storm Shadow. Mr. Popinski, nice to see you. I just showed your pictures. Again, thank you very much for letting me show them. You did a wonderful job. Everyone, actually, absolutely everyone agrees. So I don't know why they did it with this kiddish, and then they did the. And people don't realize this is clearly Mission Impossible. Storm Shadow. No, he's decrypting stuff. I didn't understand why he was. I didn't understand this completely. But whatever. It's all part of the lore. I think it's just really, really cool. So here we have Storm Shadow. And I believe that this was missed. It was pointed out on the Full Force. He's talking to Hooded Cobra Commander. I believe that this was just a miss because I'm still under the assumption that they cannot do Hooded Cobra Commander. So I don't think this is a leak that we are getting a Hooded Cobra Commander. That is, as long as that asshole is in charge, he has made it clear that there is no Hooded Cobra Commander, which again is total BS. And here he is, still holding the number 24. So again, more hints that are going right at that we're going to get the Dragonfly. I'm so worried about the cost of it because I mentioned I'm going to Florida. So here is the transmission. Commander, the disruptive device I place on Hasbro security cameras has masked my presence from their notice. You are seeing the true feed. I have secured the plans for the calibration between G.I. Joe and HasLab. Your fears are well founded. This new weapon appears swift and agile and significant firepower, ready to defend against the Hiss on all fronts. So, a lot of this, swift, significant firepower, all fronts, really points to a Dragonfly. I wanted a Dragonfly. I'm fearing the price of Dragonfly. Like I mentioned, I'm going to Florida, Disney World, probably Universal. Just spending time, with my kids, it's just expensive. And I'm like, really, you guys couldn't do this a little bit sooner? But oh well. I'll make it happen. All right, I will make it happen. That is for sure. What does make me laugh about this? It's like, hey, you know what? So now G.I. Joe is working with Hasbro, who is making this thing for the Hiss. Listen, you are the United States military. You are the largest military in the world. You could just shut them down, right? You could just say, hey, you know what? You are not shipping this to this terrorist organization that you know about and we know about, right? You know what? The Tiger, I brought that up last week, I believe. What a swerve that would be. They've shown the Tigerfly already. They're going down that road, and then they could say, hey, it's not something you have to have in your collection, right? I don't know. But anyway, um, just scroll back here really quickly. But I love what they're doing, and again, it's cool. Like Allison said, like she's, you know, it's drawing her in a little bit more where she wasn't a big GI Joe fan, and it's just things like this. The interaction that very small group of that very small team does is awesome. And I know a lot of people are not a fan of Emily, but you know she's actually out in the community, and the fact that they have her on three different teams, three different brands, is crazy. It's like you think that you would want this brand to be as successful as possible, just for the fact that it is all the can't speak. I'm like sounding a broken record. All the funds go directly into your pocket. You know, you don't have to pay any royalties. Digital Diarrhea, nice to see you. Another channel member, thank you very much. Hi all. This punk is late to the party. Hey, it's cool. As long as you're here. That's really what matters, right? Well, a few more people. Geek Dead Life must be over, right? I'm seeing the viewership going up. So people are jumping on over. Cajun Coyote. How much will this Dragonfly? I think it's going to be, if it's a Dragonfly, I think 350 to 400. I mean, they could do it for 300. Are they going to? No. I mean, I don't think so. I hope they do. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that you guys all come back here and you go, hey, you're wrong, punk. You're a piece of shit. It was less than what you said it was going to be. I would love to be wrong. Cornelius, nice to see you. What's really cool about this part of the ad campaign is Tommy was actually utilizing the espionage and covert ops of Ninjutsu. You know what? I didn't look at it like that. You're correct. He was. Banditone, damn it, I'm late. Having to work for a living is overrated. Man, I agree with you. How do you think I feel when I'm on? Listen, I'm telling you guys, I get done with this. I get done with this, guys, and I am so wound up. It's like when I go to the gym at night, or we used to like late night skatings every Wednesday. I'm wound up. I'll be going to bed at like 1, 2 o'clock, and I still got to wake up in the morning. It sucks. I'm also. Words are hard. Man, listen, I suck at reading. I suck at reading. And here I am trying to do a stream, and yeah. But hey, you know what? If I can dish it out, I better be able to take it. That's the way that I see it. Oh boy, I'm just quickly looking through here. I hope we're not getting back on the everyone hates Emily. So I know how that one goes. Jeff Smith says, I'm thinking it long, yes, but not wide. If it's too late a version, no way. No way. And the Hiss did so well. At 300, there's no way that it's gonna be less than 300. And listen, Jeffrey, I hope that this thing gets announced, and you can come on the stream right after, and you go, "Hey, you were wrong," and I will say, "You know what? I'm glad that I was wrong. I don't think so, but I want to be wrong. And I've never wanted to be wrong so much in my life. But then again, I lived with my ex for 14 years, had 2 kids. I was wrong all the time. I'm used to being wrong." Alex Martinez, nice of you to join. Thank you very much. I love seeing new faces. I love seeing the viewership go up. But then again, when you go on for like 3 hours, eventually you're going to get people. You know what always happens? Is right at the end, all of a sudden people start showing up, and I'm like, oh, I should probably keep going on. All right. So that's really it. So let's see here. I'm just going to quickly go through what you guys say. If it's Dragonfly and it's even close to scale, it's going to be over 400 most likely. I don't think it's going to be over 400 for a Dragonfly. I think I understand where you're going. I think 350, 400. But I think that because the Dragonfly is big but not huge, all right. I think that you have to keep that $500, that $400 to $500 range there in case you decide to do something really big. Let's say I'm not. Let's say the whale. That's something that you have to keep that $500 price because it goes. It kind of goes back to those people that in the Olympics they don't ever want to give away a 10 because what if someone has a better run, or a better whatever it is, right? So people try and keep it down, and no matter if it's a flawless skate or whatever. Seems like it happens in ice skating. They don't want to give them the perfect score because, like, well, what if someone does something better? So I think, and again, I'm thinking logically. I'm trying to think of how a multi-billion-dollar company thinks. Is that I think that you have to just keep it to the point where, all right, this is, we got to have some wiggle room that if we decide to go bigger. And as big as the Dragonfly is, I don't think it's big enough to justify anything over 400. Honestly, every single one of us that does a stream that talks about this, we should all be like, oh man, it's got to be 300. I can't afford anything. We should all be telling them. So when these people are listening, they hear we can't go over 300, and then we don't have to worry about it. Hell, we should go over 100. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to get into the price of stuff, but honestly, like these vehicles are expensive, and if they go to mass retail, like they're not going to sell. Fortnite boat is $15 at Ollie's. A Viper Scout here, a Tomahawk wipe. That is exactly it. Let's say you did a Tomahawk. Perfect. It's huge. All right. And right, look right here, Alex. The TBC sail barge wasn't 500. It was also done before, wasn't it? I think it was also done before when they were first starting it off. But I mean, that's like, to me, again, like I think a Tomahawk, that's where you're talking like something like $500. And I don't think they're going to get there. I mean, don't get me wrong. If prices continue to go up 2, 3, 4 years down the road, the classified one may be $500. But again, my eggs might be $8 by then. I don't know. I mean, they've come down in price. They were up to like $6 for for a dozen eggs. Now they're back down to like $2.50. Oh man, we're back on the. Yeah, no. See, again, Wolverine. Again, if we were gonna get a Wolverine, they would not have given us CoverGirl. And Matthew said it right here. The Wolverine is too small for a HasLab. I'm not saying that it's not big, but again, it's too small for what the HasLab is supposed to be. Jay Tiago says, "Let's keep it under $300." I agree. I'm not Hasbro. I'm not Hasbro, but yes, none of us can. Hasbro, Lenny, Emily, Tony, that other dude. None of us can afford over $300. It's just not possible. So if you do another HasLab and you want it to be successful, you have to keep it under $300. The same as the Hiss tank. You think it worked, guys? All right. Hopefully that works. Listen, I'm with you, Jay. Listen. I got too much shit coming up as it is. Like, it scares me. Like, all the stuff that I have going on for this final hurrah with my kids. My son's going to be 17 and my daughter's 14. So, but again, I think they could do a $300 Dragonfly. I'm not saying they can't do it. Will they? I don't know. It might be one of those things where in Hasbro's mind, they say, well, you know what? Let's see if we can get $350 out of them. They like to do stuff like that. No, we do not want an Engine of Vengeance situation. I agree. And again, I mentioned it before. What's funny is I was talking to, was it PNC? I was talking to someone on Instagram, and we are talking about the Ramen Racer. Do you realize the Ramen Racer doesn't even have 2,000 units going to be made? And just to get the Engine of Vengeance made, I think it was 10,000 units. They had over 5,000 people, over 5,000 units that were backed. Then it started going back, and that had to do with everything, in my opinion, of all the YouTubers starting to bag on it. And that really set it to start going back. People didn't want to back it because now everyone was made to feel like a show if they were going to back it. But the Ramen Racer, when you start adding up the costs and to get everything that you would get, is actually going to be pretty damn close to what you're going to pay with that HasLab. I'm just going to say. What would the tiers be? Well, yeah, I think for a actual Joe vehicle, the tiers for a Dragonfly are probably the best. You can obviously already have a standard looking Dragonfly that looks like you're a real American Hero one. But you can easily change out the weapons array with miniguns, the loadout of those like 20 missiles that come with little birds and different things like that. You could change out the front, the chin gun. Again, I think you can do a bunch of different things, and not to mention the tiers of figures. And I know like Ripcord was brought up. Again, I want to say it was Miss Popinski I was talking to. Hey, Outback Stu, it's nice to see you. I love seeing Outback here. I love seeing any JoJo characters here. Hey, Airborne is coming. Like, Airborne is coming. If it's a Dragonfly, Airborne has to. He is synonymous with the Dragonfly. But I think what they could do with Ripcord is do a Night Force Ripcord. They're already doing Night Force classified, and they gave us a Night Force Ripcord with the Sky Striker. I think it would be awesome and perfect to put a Night Force Ripcord with the Dragonfly. And it's, hey, if you don't get it, you don't get it. Viper Scout, I said this last week. I think Doc with a compatible stretcher, exactly. Airborne, and different weapon. That's exactly what I was saying. My fear with Doc would be that there would be an uproar that you've taken one of the few black characters that is a well-liked character. And now you're putting it with this HasLab not everyone can afford. So now you're gonna, there'll be this Doc might be missing in your collection. Don't get me wrong, I think they would eventually do another Doc. Maybe you could do the female Doc. This is his daughter. I don't remember. I wasn't reading the comments when they brought in the female Doc or however that worked. But maybe you could do something like that. But personally, I agree. I like to have the stretcher that fits on there, Doc to come with it. Airborne has to. Airborne has to be part of it. But again, you're going to have Airborne later on. I think he's too much of a core character that you definitely have. Okay, Johnny Reno says his niece. Okay. We're getting Dreadnoks. We're getting Dreadnoks. They've already announced 2 of the first Dreadnoks, which means the 3rd one will be coming. You guys got listen. As much as I want a lot of these new, hold on. Jay says I agree. Doc is too much for me. I do too. I agree. I would much rather have Doc than Lifeline. I'm never a fan of Lifeline. And Doc, just, again, look at the Super 7 Doc and you're like, that is awesome. You know what would be really awesome? Is if the Doc from Super 7 comes with an unpainted face. That would be awesome. I'm sorry. That would be, if all his heads were unpainted. I'm sorry. We have a newsman here in Detroit that he has that disease. He's black and he's got the pigment that is changing. And we talked about it and we said, at what point when the pigment is almost all gone that you don't put the makeup on to make your face black again and you just go to the white. I know it sounds awful, but he's more white than he is black with the pigment changing. Anyway, got off on a track. All right. You think Lifeline is more recognizable? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I mean, he was the red in the big red suit. I don't think so. Could be wrong. Let's see here. Action says if they do Tiger Fly, they can off Tiger for stock, then STD doc later. Okay. All right. Ooh, I still want a classified Quinn. Yeah, you know what? You can have your classified Quinn when I get a fucking classified Billy. Sorry. It's not a Billy. Is it that hard to get Cobra Commander, son? All right. Let's get in the top. Listen, I love this. Like, I could talk like this all day. And listen, at this point, like, I can read through some of your stuff. Like, I'm glad you laughed at that. And I even asked Lenny if we could get Billy, and he kind of laughed at me and was like, "Well, he does kind of have a cool like patch." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? He's a fucking ninja." I literally just said ninja, like that lady sings "I Am Ninja." If you have not seen the video of the lady singing "I Am Ninja," you need to go watch it. After this, just remember, I Am Ninja. Just Google it. I Am Ninja song. You will die laughing. It is like 3 minutes of pure enjoyment. Just remember, I Am Ninja. It is awesome. I'm sorry. Okay. Hey, quickly. 49 people. I saw it hit 50 a second ago. Make sure you hit that like button. It does tell YouTube people are watching. People want to see this show. We're going to push you out even more. Thank you very much. All right, let's get into the topic. And what the topic is it's time to stop comparing some toy lines. And the reason why this came up is there's been a few comments, but there was a comment. It's kind of like, it just ticked me off. It hit me the wrong way. And it was someone had made a comment about the being glad that he's so done with Marvel Legends. They could at least add some paint. I have my Mythic Legions. And I'm sorry, those are two lines that you should not compare. They are not in the ballpark. I mean, one thing, the price ranges are too different. The articulation is different. And they're not even in the same type of genre. So I want to discuss different toy lines and why you really shouldn't be why you should not be comparing. So I kind of went in order of price. Now, I did not add in any. These are all 1/12 scale. So all 6 and 7 inch figures. So what you're not going to see in here, I don't have any Master Universe. I probably should have put Master Universe Origins, to be honest, because again, they're extremely cheap, well, compared to the other figures. But so you're not going to see reaction figures compared to the Marvel Legends 4-inch figures, 3.75, 5 points of articulation, which they're not even doing anymore. I do believe they dumped that. So quickly, don't be so upset with Little Chicken Nugget. Okay? But I gotta say, Chadwin Mendele, I believe this is the first time that I've seen you, so welcome. And Eddie Rodriguez, what's up? How are you? All right. So, we're going to start with McFarlane. McFarlane has a really hard one to really base. But I've seen people kind of compare stuff to McFarlane. And they'll compare Marvel Legends to McFarlane, and they'll say, hey, you know what, look, he's still keeping his at $25, and there's more plastic. I gotta say this. If you've ever held a McFarlane figure compared to a Marvel Legends figure, there is a distinct difference and it's not that the McFarlane is better. They're completely out of proportion. They are much taller. There are no trigger fingers now. Sometimes they go back. Then that's a DC thing. That is not a McFarlane thing. Because his spawns obviously have trigger fingers. But you can feel the difference in these plastics. Now, you can kind of compare them in the fact that you say, hey, you know what? I can get a figure that I like. Like I get 84 Batman. Quickly, Allison, you are still in the chat, I am sure. How many Batman have been produced since, or how many Batman have been announced since the stream started? That was a running joke from another stream that we were both in there. She was going on and on about there's just been 5 more Batman announced. But again, you can't really compare this to the Marvel Legends. The plastic feels night and day. And we all know that Hasbro has some plastic issues. But there's no pinless joints. There are these literally when you hit them, like when you bend them, you can feel the pivot points. Yes, Allison. Yeah, since the stream started, how many Batman have been announced? At least 19. That's. I'm sorry, it was so funny, man. But I did say for every 20 Batman that are announced, there is one Snake Eyes announced. So we're closing out and having a new Snake Eyes announced. Yojo June is coming. But I think when you look at these figures, and this is what you normally get a nice display, a decent box. You get a stand, you get a card that no one cares about, and then you usually get a couple weapons. Sometimes you might get an alternate hand. If it's a Build-A-Figure wave, then you're going to have to pay like an extra $5. Again, that's kind of par for the course. But again, these figures are decent. But when I look at the ones that I have, I just go, none of them really stand out. Like I said, even that Nightfall Batman, I'm just like, boom. Like, I kind of want it because I love that, but man, she says they're about to announce 7 more, and there are 4 new Snake Eyes. I know there was other people in the stream, all right? I don't know what happened to all the guys what happened to all the other content creators? Where's Oz and Payne and all them? So we get the Black Series. Again, this is one that you can't really judge the price range because you don't really know what the price range is. I believe that they have a dartboard and they just have all the prices and they have a blind man throw the dart, and wherever it lands is whatever the Marvel Legends is going to be priced at. But for the most part, I think the the Star Wars Black Series run in at about $27 for the base figure. Again, they've pretty much moved to most of them having double joints, double knees, different things like this. But you're also paying $27 to $30, and you cannot compare this to a Mafex figure. And this is where people start to, I think, unravel and have a problem with it. The problem, obviously, with Star Wars is that we don't always know what it's going to be. They got the speeder bike with Biker Scout for $50. Was that a Black Series or was that the TVC? Blind Jedi price point. I like that. Yeah, like again, I wish there was like, but when it comes to the lines, it's hard to sit there and to judge this compared to some of the other figures that we have that come out, and it's just one of those things where a lot of people want to judge and compare, let's say, this to the Mafex. Like, oh, you get the Mafex. Well, I'm also going to spend $75 more. I'm trying to think of, there's another brand that also is it. It's Bandai. I don't have any Bandai. So here's your Marvel Legends again. Now I did the three Hasbro brands all right across, because they're all pretty much the same. So for some odd reason, the Marvel Legends still the basic figures are going to be around $25. Some go up to 27. Again, dartboard, blind man. They throw it where it lands. That's where some of these things get priced at. I'm glad that G.I. Joe actually gave us a price range, which is cool. Hey, dude, listen, if you want to do a monkey wrench, this is it right here. Figuratively speaking, thank you for joining. Nice to see you. So, again, you can't compare, in my opinion, you cannot compare this to some of the higher end figures because you're paying $25. You're going to get a Stormbreaker, which we all know is too heavy. If you have a Stormbreaker from Hasbro, you know that the head starts to sag after a while. I can't believe I said that. You guys can, yeah, the head starts to sag. Boom. That's it. But when it comes to trying to compare it to a different line of figures, and again, this is where someone tried to compare a Marvel Legends figure to a Mythic Legions, and they're not even the same ballpark. Quickly, Shark Guy, hey brother, finally turning in now, watching Jimmy Butler knock those Celtic boys out. Can somebody give me the score? I'm interested because I don't want to see the Celtics. Really don't. Also, Shark Guys, I mentioned it earlier. This coming Sunday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Heat won. Cool. Heat won. Poor Boston. That must hurt. Okay, Shark Guys. If I'm missing anything, please fill me in. 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're in Australia, so it'll be 9 p.m. their time. I will be on their show with Frostbite. So, and I believe Ronnie Tricks that, right? So, yeah. So tune in if you're able to, or just watch it after. You guys will enjoy it. Let's see here. Ronnie here. Shark Guy, Jimmy Butler is Jordan's son. And look at this. Wow. Baldy Lot says 103.81. Way to show up in your own house, Boston. Wow. That is just like you bent over and didn't even, you're like, don't even give me lube. Just go at it. Raw dog me, everything. They were done, bro. As for Sunday, how's this? Is it accurate? Okay. So 7 a.m., which is fine. I just have to get up probably 6:30. I'll be up, ready. I've been going to the gym at like 8 o'clock in the morning anyway on my days off. All right, back to where we were because I'm lost. Again, so here's your Marvel Legends. Again, very standard figure for $25. Classified. Now, don't get me wrong, I purposely threw in this set because I believe that this wave of 3 was really a good wave. There's not a stinker in it. I mean, the biggest complaint that I have is that the Cobra Officer's guns, his AK-47, seems to be a little warped at times. So, but again, if I want to compare this Storm Shadow to the Mezco when it comes in, and I will obviously be doing a comparison of them because you're going to see what you get for $25 compared to a $100 figure. You're not going to get the same. It's you're hoping. I take it back. You shouldn't be getting the same. It should be night and day. Now, I threw in this just because I just got it. There he is. Look right here. Look at that. There he is, guys. And oh, by the way, this is all because of you, the Monday Night Enablers. I probably would not have grabbed that had we not done the whole Chun-Li thing. So once again, thank you very much. It was very appreciated, and it was a fun night. So looking at this figure again, when you look at Star Wars, and then you look at like the Black Series, and then you look at Marvel Legends, they are paying a right. Like they have to pay to have that master license to produce the 6-inch Star Wars and Marvel figures. So they don't make nearly as much as they do off the G.I. Joe. Going to be the same thing with Jada here. Now, if you were really looking at this and you want to say $25, all you're going to get is 2 hands, 2 heads, and a ball, you may complain. But this is a really good figure, but I'm also not going to compare it to a $50 figure. Although it is really nice. No pins. Now, this is where you can really compare lines. And I really believe that you can compare the Valaverse Action Force line and their figures compared to the Classified. And I think that is a fair comparison. Now, Classified are usually a little bit cheaper. Obviously, the deluxe ones are actually a little bit more expensive. You do get more stuff under normal circumstances with a Valaverse, but for the most part, they're all reuse of stuff. I have, again, the base of Vala hands. So I have so many hands. So you are just reproducing things that are already being made. But you are getting a good amount for $32, where with Classified, for $25, you might still be getting a good amount, but not nearly as much. I still believe that at this price point, you can compare the two. So if someone wants to say, hey, you know what? I'm buying these Valaverse, and their paint is on point. And for the most part, they are. I don't have a lot of complaints. And you want to compare it even to a $25 Hasbro figure and say, hey, you know what? The paint is off. The eyes don't look right. To me, that's a fair comparison. Now, I'm not going to say you should ever not have an issue with the paint being wrong, but some paint is really spot on, and other paint, you can say, okay, well, you can kind of get away with it. Look at Master Universe. It's like there's not a lot of paint apps, but those Origins, I can't even believe it. I didn't even put any of the Masterverse in. I have a whole bunch back there. The Masterverse, I'm quickly talking about Masterverse. Those are ones that you should really be able to compare to the McFarlane because of how good they are. But those are ones that you can also, in my opinion, you can compare to what you get compared to the Classified and your Marvel Legends. You usually don't get a lot of accessories, but you do get a big figure that his articulation, in my opinion, is better. It's smoother than anything that I've gotten from any of the McFarlane stuff. And I don't believe he's really changed. It's kind of the way he does it. Now, I did specifically pick out this Dorkside, if you guys are wondering, because I really like this figure. And I'm glad I was able to get it. This is one of the figures that I really do truly like. Oops, hold on. Quickly here. Anthony, make the A-Team. Everyone wants those. My guy that 3D prints me stuff, he just ordered all the heads, but he is struggling with painting, especially the eyes. But he also has the A-Team guns from Gridiron, which really look really nice. He's hoping to get them all painted, and I can kind of do a review of all of them. Anthony, I just said that. All right? I just said that. I don't need you regurgitating what I said. All right. So let me get into something like this. Smaller company. I don't have much Boss Fight Studio stuff. I do have stuff on order. As a matter of fact, I believe I only have one Boss Fight Studio figure, and it is a 4-inch figure. Let's see. I paint eyes in my sleep. Yeah, well, he was struggling, and it was pretty bad and pretty funny. I told him actually to hit you up, so maybe you can give him some tips on how to do it. I don't know. Maybe he will. So Matthew says Boss Fight Studio stuff is awesome. Personally, I haven't heard anything bad about him. Well, take that back. There is one person that really does not like Boss Fight Studios. But again, this is a smaller company. They have a smaller amount that they're going to print. I don't know what the articulation. Now, I threw the Popeye in here. It's hard to see how all the other articulation is. Obviously, you can see then his elbows are and everything. But he has a couple different hands. The paint, you're going to want the paint to look really nice. So this is another figure that these are the types of figures that you start to, in my opinion, compare to Mythic Legions. Because you're looking at the $35 range. Mythic Legions are going to be about $50. I know, $37 if you pre-order them, guys. That might be my number one sent message now, or post that is left. Hey, if you pre-order them, they're $37. Yes, I know. But I also got to wait a year and a half to get them. So this is where you start this is where you can start comparing the Mythic Legions. I threw in the Sparrow toys because they are hot to get right now. I do like them. I did reviews on them. You guys should go watch the review because not a lot of people did. These things, in all honesty, was such a good figure. Now, there is a lot of repaint. All right? And even with the next waves that are coming, we're seeing that they are kind of repaint heavy. But how smooth they are, how easy the hands pop out. I like how big they are. And just the accessories that they have, they look really nice. And this is another thing that I think, this is something you kind of compare to like a Valaverse. Where if I go back to Valaverse, I'm going to say, hey, I get so much more stuff. That is one thing that when they talk about what you get, I have to agree. You're getting a stand with Valaverse. You're getting 84 hands with Valaverse. You're getting, the bodysuits, the armor. Some have the helmets, some have the extra heads. Again, understand most of that is just the sculpts are there. You just got to paint a different color. Now, the reason why I say these are hard to kind of compare is because now you're looking at a smaller company, but nothing is pinless. So as nice and smooth as they are, you're not running anything that's pinless, which is unfortunate. We all love pinless, except for customizers. They seem to like to pin a lot more. I like how big they are. That's what she said. Yes, exactly. You know what? I really need to get a soundboard. There is some stuff, so I do hope to get more stuff as the channel grows a little bit more going into the end of the year. I mentioned before, the channel has grown way quicker than I had actually anticipated. So I would say I'm a little bit behind on stuff that I want to get. Here we get to the gargoyle. Now, I think that the NECA gives you so much stuff for a $38 to $40 price point. I know some of this stuff is real expensive, and I was told before just how pricey or how crappy their plastic is. I don't think it's crappy at all anymore. I think it's actually really nice. I don't know if they use any pinless. I know these are not pinless joints. Like on the gargoyles, the knees are not double jointed, but the elbows are. This is a hulking amount of plastic. Just if you looked at his upper body and his belly, it is big. But then you look at Goliath. Now, don't get me wrong. They've now reused Goliath's body 3 times. Well, they've reused it twice. So they used it 3 times for Thalog and the video game. But the wings are just giant. They give you accessories. They give you extra hands and extra head. I believe every single one of these figures has an extra head. So you have 2 different face sculpts. They all have, I think, 6 or 3 sets of hands. So you start looking at this. This is the type of stuff you can compare to Sparrow Toys here. Again, a smaller company, you're going to get a little bit less. But I got to say, all the weapons are really pokey. All right? All really pokey. All right? Palpatine, nice to see you. So this means, hey, we have 4 channel members. Every channel member has been in the chat at some point. If you guys are interested, again, 2 different channel members, or 2 different 99 cents and $2.99. Again, once we hit 8, I can't believe I thought by now we would hit 8 fairly easily, but I didn't. And we can start putting it on the first page. When you first click on, boom, there you are. You can have the rotating people that are on it. So, and I mentioned at the end of every video, every review that I do, your name is going to be put at the end, so, which will be there forever because I'm never going to go back and redo it. So I think gargoyles like this. These 2 lines are lines that you can kind of compare. And you can say, hey, you know what? Listen, Sparrow is a smaller company. So, yeah, for $38, you're getting less than the gargoyles. But I also understand that a much larger company, I'm going to get that. But when it comes to like paint apps, articulation, different things like that, they're in the same ballpark. Then we get the Mythic Legions. Now, this is what really set me off is because, you know, again, I don't really care like that, hey, you stop collecting Marvel Legends because you like the Mythic Legions that much better than what the 4 Horsemen does. What the 4 Horsemen does is way better than your Marvel Legends. But let's be honest. If you really want to get down to the nitty-gritty here, the Mythic Legions have articulation that is close to a Super 7 Ultimate, which isn't really good. You would think that everything would be double jointed, but it's not. That's something they've chose not to do. But when I start looking at the paint, it is magnificent, and that's why I'm willing to pay $50 or $55 when there's a figure that I like. Now I know I was on the fence. It took me a while. I only have 3 of the figures, but you're in a different realm. Like it's night and day. But at the same time, someone that collects Marvel Legends can easily say, yeah, well, I want characters that I knew from a comic book. I want I want joints that I can do, amazing poses. You can only do so many poses when it comes to Mythic Legions. But what you are paying for with $50 is these amazing sculpts, the amazing paint. 3 of them that I've done, I haven't had a single issue with 1 of them. They look great. But again, I don't think you should be trying to compare these 2 types of lines. I just don't think that it's fair to either one. And it doesn't really make any sense, to be honest, because Mythic Legions is their own line for the most part. Yeah, they do characters that are created to be homages to Master of the Universe, but they don't really do much more. You still need the Mythic Legions horse. All right, well, you know what? If you guys want to enable me to get that, but that thing's like $75, right? If you guys want to enable it, if you guys want to be the Monday night enablers for that, then hey, you know what? Feel free. If you hit $75 in super chats, and believe me, I don't get $75. If you did $75 in super chats, I will pick up that horse. And I will do a review of it. And I will put this dude on it. That I forgot his name. I'll probably yell at it. And Allison just says, we are up to 37 announced Batman since the stream started. We need to start doing like a running toll up here. Like Toy Anxiety does with their super chat. Whoever has the highest super chat, he puts his name up there and do that with the Batman. Matthew says he's got Headless Horseman release. Yeah, I have that coming because it glows in the dark. It actually just looked awesome. I was actually kicking myself for not buying it. Now I'm happy that I didn't get it because I want the glow in the dark. So now I wonder if that monkey one is going to be in the glow in the dark too. They're going to re-release that, but that one didn't sell as well as I think they had hoped for. All right. So Mythic Legions really should be compared to the Super 7 Ultimates. They are in the same price range. But they are not in the same quality range or the paint range. Or hell, I don't even think they're even close to the same size of a company. This is where there is definitely an issue. And I would say 7-inch figure, you should not be comparing this to... You shouldn't be comparing these to classified. You shouldn't be. But I think you are allowed to. And that is because this really should not be a $55 figure. I think we all agree that these things are way too expensive. And it's unfortunate. But for $55, the paint should be pretty much... The fact that Mythic Legions gives you $50 and you have flawless paint and amazing sculpts, Super 7 should be doing the same thing. They're a bigger company. They can do it. But again, people let them off the hook. You see a lot of YouTubers that I believe get free product from them. And they allow them off. Action Face, $5 super chat. Thank you. Here you go. I'll get you started towards the Boris. Buddy, like, she just let you in. All right, hold on. Let's see. Hold on 1 second, guys. We'll address that 1 second. All right, here we go. Hold on. Let's remove you. All right. Say hi. All right, come on. She just let you in, right? You're on TV. You know you're on TV too, right? You know I get people that like send me messages that your dog goes nuts when you come on. Go sit down. Go sit down. You can sit here. I can pet you while I do this, for the most part. All right. Yes, so Action, and listen, if we can hit 75, I would be more than happy to go get that Boris. And even if we don't, I appreciate it. I will definitely, listen, everything goes back into the funds of what I am doing. So anything helps. Everything helps. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome, honestly. Every single one of you are awesome. All the super chats. And I feel like I say that too. I feel like I say that too often. I want to say super chats, the people that buy merchandise, channel members. Seriously, it goes so far, and it tells me, hey, you know what? You guys do enjoy what I'm doing, and you're willing to just help. It means a lot. So, okay. Anthony already says they suck. Okay, so let's skip it. So this is to me where you start to have issues, and really, at $55, we should not be comparing these to classified. But because of what Super 7 gives us, I think it is a comparable. You can compare them to classified because they're not where they should be. These should be compared to Mythic Legions. All right, this here you should be moving on up to this status where, hey, we are a premier company and we're going to give it to you. They want to charge like a premier company, but they're not giving you quality like you get with that. And JLS has just joined. I mentioned earlier on Chad's stream, I learned a lot about Airborne because one of your videos popped up and I'm like, let's learn about Airborne. I think what you do is really good. So again, little articulation for $50. I'm assuming that you are talking about the Mythic Legions. And I want to be with you on that. If you're talking about Mythic Legions, if you're talking about Super 7, $55, I agree. So I agree with the articulation, but it's just when you look at the sculpt of it, how pristine the paint is, yes, I would love to have more articulation. But when you're spending $50 on an action figure, and you know that your trade-off is, all right, well, we're going to give you this absolutely amazing face sculpt. The paint is going to be awesome. but you're going to lose some articulation because that's our cost trade-off. I go, okay. If you were just saying we're going to charge $50 because we're a small company and you're going to get shit paint, shit articulation, and shit sculpt, that's when I go, oh, so you want to be Super 7 Ultimates. But I do understand where you're coming from. In this day and age, you would think, all right, you know what? Everyone should be doing, double elbow joints, double knee joints. And I do wonder how much longer, like the Mythic Legions, how the Force may continue to do it. Because you're seeing other brands now, Kickstarters, that are charging less or going to be charging around the same price using mythical creatures that are going to give us double joints and everything. But is anyone going to get that detail? That detail is just, as wonderful as that Destro is, man, I can grab the 3 Mythic Legions I had and compare them, especially Duban. I don't know. I know someone needs to tell me. All right. So let me get to like the Mafex here. I do this in this in few, Matthew. So this is a $100 figure. Amazing articulation. You can just look up here. You can see the kicking that he's going to get. This is not something that you could compare to a Marvel Legends. Now you may be able to get a lot of the same poses as a Marvel Legend, but I don't think you get the same plastic. Now, I have not held any Mafex. I've heard really bad things maybe earlier on, but they've gotten really better. Matthew was saying, like I said, best figure of the year so far. Now you make me want to get it, but then I have to buy Batman stuff. I can't go down that road. I like to see classified figures that look like the cartoon. I don't. I don't know. I understand. You know what? We're gonna put a pin in that. Hold on, I'm gonna write this down. That's a topic I think that we should probably talk about. G.I. Joe cartoon figures. If people really want to see that. I don't. Would I buy them? Probably, because I'm an idiot. But anyway, so these are the types of figures you cannot compare realistically compared to a $20 figure, a $30 figure. Even though you can get a lot of the poses, the plastic should be better. On a Mafex, the accessories that you're going to get, the face sculpts, different things like that. I really wish we could all sit there and say that, hey, you know what? Everything that we get is going to be great from the Hasbro, but it's not going to happen. We know that. Also, Action Figure says it is Dubon. All right. I will try and remember that, but I can't even remember how your name's supposed to be pronounced. Dubon. It should be easy, right? And then this is the last figure that I have, and that is the Mezco Destro. Now, yes, I did a review of it, a long review, so if you guys have a chance, check it out. If you haven't already, it's like 47 minutes. I promise you the other ones probably will not, I'm not going to promise anything. The other ones shouldn't go as long. I really wanted to show people everything that you're going to get out of a Mezco. Because I know there's a lot of people that are just Joe collectors. So I really went in depth to show you how everything is. I believe on the next Mezcos that I do, I'll probably already have everything else. So you won't have to watch me open things and get into that. So anyway, I did quickly compare this to the classified to kind of show you the difference. Now, I think the classified Destro is an amazing figure. I think it is great. It's probably the best figure of Wave 1. It is just a solid figure. It looks like Destro. There's nothing that changes off of it. But when I got this in hand, the joints are so smooth. The soft goods are just so good. The way that it's tight, that you don't see any joints, but it doesn't look fluffy. It doesn't look like a Mego figure. It's amazing. But I know you're going to have people already say, hey, you know what? Compare that to, this, the classified figure, it's nothing compared to the Mezco. Yeah, you're right. It shouldn't be. Because one was $20 and one was $100. Now, maybe you spend $50 on the aftermarket to get a classified Destro, but that's not how much it's supposed to cost. And then you can see all the accessories that he comes with. He also comes with a few other things that I did not put in there. Not to mention, the base on this thing is absolutely huge. Like, the base that he comes with is absolutely huge. I mean, and it's interchangeable, so it can have a peg in case you can't stand your figure. Don't get me started on that. So anyway, that was the basis of the topic. I came to the end of my slideshow. That's the end of my slides. So, anything else you guys want to discuss on comparing? Because I know a lot of people would do it. And I know a lot of people do it just because they're so upset with a brand. But I just think that there comes a time that you really, and it goes with everything. I can sit there and I can say, well, you know what? My Dodge Neon has four tires too. It gets me from point A to point B. It's the same as a Dodge Viper. It's not. I spent $100,000 on a Dodge Viper because I can get from point A to point B way quicker. It has more power. It has better paint. It has a better sculpt to it. But for some odd reason, when it comes to toys, people are just like, oh my God, everything's gone up in price. Well, have you gone grocery shopping? Try and shop for a family of 4. Good luck. I don't know how people do it. Go car shopping. Explain to me why every full-size truck that is halfway decently equipped is $60,000. It's absolutely crazy. But everyone wants to complain about how plastic has gone up. Our plastic crack here. It's crazy. Anyway, that's just my thing here. Let's see here. Looks great, but it's $100. I'm considering Firefly for sure. And you know what? I do not have a problem. I do not have a single problem with someone saying, you know what? That classified Destro looks good enough for me that I don't need that Mezco. That classified one, in my opinion, I'm not saying it's my opinion. If you said, in my opinion, that classified one for $20 or $25 is worth what I'm going to get for that $100 for me and my collection, I'm okay with it. Like, it is like, it's fully acceptable. It's when you feel them in hand, it's like, okay, well, you know what? I can feel the difference in the way he poses, the way he moves, the soft goods that makes everything flow. But maybe you don't care about that. Again, that's kind of the argument that people make when it comes to Super 7. That's what Brian Flynn actually tries to argue. Well, most people just put their figures in a static pose. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. People, I have static poses back here, but I constantly move my figures around. I think, I go on Instagram. How many people are doing photography? A lot of the people are not just collecting and just, boom, here it is, right? There are people, but there's a lot of people that are doing poses out there, doing all kinds of things. JLS Comics says, sounds like my friend and I comparing a Z06 to ZR1 the other day. Dude, that is a perfect example. Like that is actually like boom, like right on par. Like you start looking under the engine, under the hood, and looking at the engine, it's just like wow. Okay. I thought we blocked you. Hey, you're allowed to like whatever you like. I don't even dislike the Pimp Daddy Destro, but yeah, Action Figure says Mezco makes incredible figures. It's just one of those companies you have to be selective with what ones you get. I agree, but you know what? I'll tell you this. I get this Destro here, right? I opened up, so I had that Bishop that wasn't mine, and my buddy's, and the leg was broken. First one I ever handled. Again, I haven't heard really too much of anything bad about Mezco. So I'm like, well, you know what? Shit happens, right? I get this Destro, and you're just looking at it, and I'm comparing it to, I'm comparing it. I don't want to say comparing it. I'm looking at it compared to the Classified. I know that it's going to be better. Because you know what? The truth is, I have a Dodge Journey. You're allowed to go and drive that, Dodge Viper and go, I love this. But at the same time, also get in the Dodge Journey and go, I'd like driving this too. It's not an all or nothing thing. But at the same time, I know that if I'm going to be driving a Cadillac, it's going to feel better than driving a Chevy Cavalier. They don't even make Cavaliers anymore. It's anything but a lower end car. But, it's like you get this, and then you're all of a sudden like, well, I have that Wolverine downstairs. You get it for like $80 on Mezco 8. I want like you start asking yourself like, wow, because they fit in the scale with it. That's what's really good about them. But luckily, I just want to collect the G.I. Joes. I'm already looking at how expensive they are, and we haven't even seen what timber looks like. We haven't even seen what the Mezco timber looks like. So, which at the same time, you're like, well, that kind of sucks. I want to see what that looks like. So, I don't know. That's about it. That's all that I really have to discuss. I mean, we can ramble on. We didn't make this a 3-hour show, like a 3-hour tour, and then we end up going on and on and on. I need like, and sometimes it's weird like talking to yourself. I think I mentioned it before, but I like doing this alone. Mezco figures can be incredible, but given the price and the turnaround time on them, it doesn't feel like an option for building teams. Certainly not Army Build. I agree. Odin, you are right on. And like I said, like when people keep telling me, hey, you get Mezco, not Mezco's, you get the 4 Horsemen stuff for $37 in the pre-order, but I have to wait, a year and a half. And yeah, this Destro was ordered 26 months ago. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. But I also knew like it's G.I. Joe, and I wanted G.I. Joe. So it's just one of those things where if I was all in on Mythic Legions, yeah, I'd say, you know what, pre-order. Get that in. It's awesome. Alex Martinez says, Mezco can be a rabbit hole for collectors. I'm all in for Mezco figs, just like Hot Toys. Well, Alex, your job pays you better than mine. I don't know what you do. Oh my God. I think, yeah. No, like, again. And I'm not one of those people. I get really aggravated. And we all get aggravated with the toy swappers. We know that. But it's like, listen, if you can't afford to collect something, there's no shame in it. All right? Times are hard. And this is, this is a hobby. This is something that is this is a hobby. This is something that, if you have the money, great. If you don't, there's no shame in it. And that's why I hate the toy swappers. You're filthy people. And if there's any toy swappers listening right now, watching, fuck off. Go jump off a fucking bridge. Because seriously, you swap a toy, and some grandmother's going to buy it for their kid or for their grandkid, and little Johnny is going to be so upset because he wanted Thor, and then he gets some crappy Power Ranger from 4 years ago. But hey, you don't care because you saved yourself $25. Fighting code names. No, I will not be. I actually just sold off my Condor, Bone Collector, and Keurig. So yeah, I actually just sold them off. I don't. I hope for everyone that wants them. I hope they're using the same plastic that the first Special Deployment series used because they were absolutely awesome. They were absolutely awesome. But for me, I kept looking at the figures, and I just don't have a connection to them. And now that I'm getting more and more stuff, it is the one line that I'm going to start cutting back on. Like I said, I'll probably still be reviewing them because my buddy is getting them. I will still be picking some up. Like, I still love Trigger. Trigger is still one of my favorite figures. I think he's an absolute figure. Amazing figure. I think the Dork Side exclusive is an awesome figure. And then there was the Blowback. I think Blowback, one of the best face sculpts and an action figure that I've ever seen, especially for $32. So, but I just can't be all in anymore. Saw funny Lady Jane missing her hair. Whenever the hair's missing, it looks so weird and wrong. As the action says, absolutely fun. If you're broke because of toys, you aren't having fun. You're just creating anxiety for yourself because of FOMO. Exactly. And listen, if you're one of those people, I don't understand inbox collecting. I understand I have some things that are inbox. But for the most part, I don't understand. I don't understand why you don't want to enjoy what you purchased. And maybe that's how you enjoy it. To me, it's like buying a skateboard. Although I bought a skateboard that I've had since December that's still sitting there. And I keep saying I'm going to hook it up, and I don't. But I'm going to. I just haven't skated on that much. But it's one of, like, again, like, if you're not having fun with the stuff, I don't know why you're doing it. And again, like, if you're creating anxiety because you can't really afford it, well, you shouldn't be doing it. And again, if you're just a piece of shit that is going to go out and buy, oh, hey, you know what? I found this G.I. Joe classified figure. Now I'm going to cram it in here, and I'm going to return it, and no one can see, so it's even less of an issue that I don't have to worry about it. Or when people put in stuff that's not even like a 6-inch figure, you're just a piece of trash human. I mean, that's all you are. And again, there is nothing wrong with not having the money to collect something. There's nothing wrong with not having the money to have a brand new car. I mean, listen, there's... I've already done my kickflip for the year. Second try, too. I was actually pretty impressed. I haven't tried anymore. Well, if I tried them that day. I always try and get my flip tricks done right at the beginning of the year. When I first turn over a new age. This year did not happen. I did a kickflip. I haven't skated. My knees have been so bad. So I still have to do a heel flip, still have to do a 360 flip. There was something else that I did. That I do. I used to do a lot of flip tricks. Not so much anymore. Yeah, second try. Sometimes it happens much. Sometimes it happens much quicker. My buddy and I, he's a little older than me, we always say, like, the thing about flip tricks now in skateboarding, well, a lot of tricks, especially flip tricks, they take effort. Like when you're younger, they don't take much effort. So sometimes you just have to kind of concentrate, and then I already know the motion and everything, and then you just flip and then done. But I usually try and get everything done right away. Just didn't happen this year. BMW Rhino, thank you for the super chat. I have so much fun on Monday nights now. Thank you. You know, listen, hey, if that is what I isn't, if that is not if that's what I do, that is what I set out to do. To have a good time, to set out and have a good time, to interact with other people that are enjoying toys. Because let's be honest, I bet most of our friends don't collect toys. Most of you that have significant others probably don't give a shit about toys. They don't understand why you are collecting toys. We do. And when you're a collector, I've said before, collectors shouldn't have kids because you're too busy collecting for your kids, and your kids like, I don't really care. My daughter collects Funko Pops. That's why you see some Funko Pops. Well, I just got she loves Lilo and Stitch. Well, I just got the Entertainment Earth Stitch Funko Pop for her. That's kind of like my thing of like, hey, I need you to do some of these graphics, like this Punk with Toys up here. Where's it at? Right here. That's a new logo. It's like Division Streetwear from skateboarding. I figured it'd be nice and easy. And then she's done other stuff for me. So, let's see. Banditone says, my truck and my new wife are the same age. Not sure if that's good or bad. But no, listen. If I'm entertaining people, listen, I don't know why any of you would want to listen to my voice. I wouldn't want to listen to my voice, and I talk to myself all fucking day. And I'm so glad. I have so much fun with you guys, just reading through the chat. So I do want to mention, so Thursday night, so this Thursday we are doing, oh, you're out, okay, Action, you're out of here? All right, we'll see you, I'm sure, on a stream soon enough. I love when you join the chat. You always have a lot of things to say. And I like talking to you. Like, you get some really good insight. Thank you. Thank you very much. Listen, if you look up Vision Streetwear from skateboarding, that's what the logo used to be back in the 80s. My daughter did that. I had to hound on her to do it, but she did all that. But yeah, so thank you very much. I will pass that on to her. I liked it. Like, I thought it was gonna look pretty cool. I threw it up there, and then I actually changed it, so now you don't see the other. The other one will still be there because that's how everyone knows me. Even though I tweaked it. I did tweak it. Nobody else wants to talk toys. Well, there's a lot of YouTubers that talk toys. I mean, I cannot believe how many YouTubers there are. I mean, so many toy tubers. Absolutely crazy. I love it. But anyway, I do want to mention. So Thursday night we're doing Punks on Films, where Matthew and I, we don't really break down. Like, we talk about a film. And this week we are talking about Big Trouble in Little China. I had actually never seen the movie. I thought that I had, but I was thinking of Showdown in Little Tokyo. Right? And that was it. So we're going to be talking about it. We don't really break down like all the things, we don't get in depth with other people. We just kind of talk about what's funny about it, what was good, what was bad. We seem to be getting a lot of stereotypical. We picked out some really weird ones. But I mentioned this last week, or maybe the week before, is, okay, Jalen says he loves that movie. Well, tune in and you can help break it down with us. So one thing I'm going to do on every other Thursday that I don't do. Oh my gosh. You need to go outside? One moment. I think my daughter's still up. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me. All right. So I mentioned it before. What I think I'm going to do is on the opposite Thursdays, I have to be committed. This is one of the biggest things, and I want you guys to understand. And listen, if you're going to start a YouTube channel where you do lives, if you're going to do lives, you really have to set a date and a time, name that show, and be present every single week or whenever you're going to do it. You have to. That is how you grow the community. Is how you grow your channel. It is how you get so many committed, not followers. I don't want to say friends. I mean, like, you guys are fans of the show. I don't think anyone's fans of me. You're fans of the show and what we talk about. I consider this, it's my channel, but we're all one big community. So if you're going to do a channel, you have to be committed. What I do want to do is on the opposite Thursdays that we're not doing the Punks on Film. My thing is, I got 40 people, so I want you all to listen, is I want to start having conversations with someone from the channel, someone that's in the streams, that's in the chat all the time, or somebody maybe that just maybe they're not in the stream because you can't always be in, but I see them making comments all the time on different video, different reviews that I'm doing, or people that even go and watch this later on. Like my boys that kind of. I kind of sent it to Travis, and I think he left. When he jumped in for one comment, and then he was gone. So I want to do on the opposite Thursdays, start doing a stream where I talk to someone from the chat or someone that you've seen in comments. Because the one thing that I know, at least for me, and I can't speak for everyone, for me, when I'm in like Geek Dead Life or Toy Anxiety or Toy Habits or these other streams, the Full Force, like, you start to see other people that you talk to, right? And you just want to know, like, Anthony, that was me, and Travis, Anthony said this, not me. I agree with him, but he said it. DJ, nice of you to join us. But what I want to do is I want to give back to, like, the people that are supporting. And I know, like, for me, when I'm on others, like in other chats and stuff, I always want to know who people are. I want to know who Allison was. I want to know who Matthew was. I know who Matthew and Anthony are now, but I know, like, a lot of people don't know who they are. But just to have a conversation with them, get to know, like, their age demographic, what it is that they do, like, for their personal life. I mean, you don't have to break down. I mean, don't get me wrong. Before we start, I don't your social security number, mother's maiden name, things like that. I don't need to know. But I think that's what I'm going to do. And a lot of other streamers do it, and it's perfectly fine because I like to hear from other content creators, and I like to hear from, I like to hear what Bobby Ballard knows about the industry and what other, people are in the industry. But I want to give back to the people that are helping support this channel. So I think that's what I'm going to start doing. I just have to kind of figure out that I can make time for it. It doesn't have to be a live show. I'd much rather do a live show, but let's say it's someone that's from a different country that they just can't make it. Well, you know what? We can record a 2-hour show and do a premiere of it, and it would just be from probably another 10 to midnight on Thursday. So again, just something that I'm pretty sure that I'm going to do, but I have to make sure that I'm 100% committed to doing it, because I see too many people that start doing a stream and then I have no idea when they're on again. I mean, it's like, all right, well, are you on this Saturday? Wait a minute. Are you on at 9? Oh, wait a minute. Are you on at 10? Wait, are you going to be on Thursday? Like, I don't know. Anthony, I love to. It's having the commitment. And if I'm going to do something, I want to make sure that I'm going to be 100% committed to it. because I think everyone deserves it. Like that, you're just, that you are just, you're giving back, but yeah, you have to just kind of commit to it. I own late night Mondays. You know what? I'm not gonna lie, dude. I want to dominate Monday nights on for toys. Someone may come through and crush me. Good. That means that I have to step my game up to give better content. I did not do Sunday nights because guess what? I was not going to go up against Geek Dead Life because they are a effing juggernaut. Why did I say that? They're a fucking juggernaut. Why did I say effing? I don't say that. They're a juggernaut. Like that would just be stupidity on my part. But yeah, my goal is that when people think of Monday nights, when it comes to toys, this is where they're going to come. They're going to come to talk, hear me. I don't know why you guys want to hear me, but I think it's awesome. But yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. DJ Fevish says, I'm a 44-year-old male looking for a good time. Now I sound like a Danny say. Shark guys, listen, I've already started thinking of the people that I want to ask. You are one of them. I gotta say this. The one thing that I really do enjoy doing, or the one thing I really have enjoyed throughout this whole, is talking to people from other countries. I've had a lot of talks with Shark Guys here. Now I'm going to be on the show. I mentioned this Sunday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yes, you know that it's early. So we'll just probably catch it on the replay. Because in Australia, it's 9 p.m. their time. All right? But the one thing about it is, it's like talking to them and finding out, like, when he's telling me, like, we don't have classified on the shelves. We're 8 hours from China, and we don't have shit here. It's crazy. And listening to their interview with not Ron Rudat, I forget what his name is. One of the guys from G.I. Joe from back in the day, and just listening to them, like, hear about how they were getting stuff when they were younger. It's fascinating to me because we didn't have the internet back then. We just assumed, like, oh, hey, there's G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. I'm going to Kmart and there's going to be a wall of figures. And then I'm going to go to Toys R Us and get a whole bunch. Kirk Pazigian. Okay. Listen, I will never forget. I will never remember that. But thank you. Even though I know his name. Kirk Cameron. You might as well be Kirk Cameron to me. Dude, it was a really good stream. And I got that is something. Listen, go watch that. It's on Frostbite's channel. I don't know where he's at today. I really talked about it last time, or last week. It was a really good stream. Like, again, it's just learning so much. I mentioned this before. I love when Bobby Vela is talking about the process of making the toy, the different little tweaks that you do, just everything that goes into it. What I don't care for is the drama. I don't give a shit. I collect toys as an adult because it's drama free. That's all that I want. So, but anyway, that is my idea. Basically, I'm going to keep talking about it until I finally go ahead and do it. Hey, my pleasure. Listen, I've mentioned 100 times. There's still people watching. I mentioned this 100 times that I did. If anyone comes into the stream and starts automatically promoting their content, you're done. Like I don't. No one comes to my stream to listen to or to hear about someone else's. But if you give good content and you and I are talking and chatting, man, I'm gonna promote your stuff. Like I do hella dope toys. Like I pushed out Pain stuff. Like he's not coming in doing it. Like I talk about your guys' stream. Like that's how the community grows. So, I had the Dodge version, which was the exact same, other than the emblem in the front. and I had a 95, so I didn't even have power windows. I was just talking to someone about it when you're driving down the road and you're reaching over, you're rolling down the window. Well, I'm gonna say this, Anthony. I haven't even talked to her about this yet. Allison is the first person I actually want to have on this. And I gotta say, and I know Allison has. I haven't asked her. Allison is fascinating. I've talked to her numerous times, but I've also seen her on Toy Habits and stuff. And that woman has many stories. But I think, again, for me, I love seeing everyone in the chat. And I want to know who they are, and I want to know more about them. Sorry, I keep hitting that. It's making a poppy noise, I'm sure. So that's what we're going to shoot for. But we have gone over 3 hours. See, this is what happens. You guys start talking. What the hell? Like, you guys start chatting like all of a sudden now. Listen, BMW Ryan. Listen, I had a Dodge Challenger SRT. Listen, we're talking about the Dodge Neon and the Plymouth Neon, right? You know, 4-banger with the four seats, didn't even have power windows. You're throwing out your Dodge Challenger SRT. I love. Listen, my dad worked for Dodge Truck, so I'm a Dodge guy, Chrysler guy. All right. This makes me laugh. My roommate in the Army had an SRT4 Neon. It was the fastest POS I've ever been in. I just watched the whole thing about like all the Army people and needing to get like buying their SRT Challengers and Chargers, but that's all they can afford. They can't afford like anything else. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, Alex is watching from San Diego. Well, go tell shoot on down to Super 7 and tell him to lower his prices or fix his product. All right, man. I'm gonna wrap it up. That's my idea. I mentioned it before. I just have to sit down, write it down. Ray Paz, listen. I want to do a Discord. I want to do a Discord for channel members. The problem is I tried setting one up and I couldn't figure out how to make it private. If you know how to do it, shoot me an email and we can figure something out. Because I spent like 3 hours on it one night and I said, I'm done. And I've asked and no one has ever hit me back up and said, hey, you know what? I know how to do it. I've set it up. I was able to set one up, but I couldn't figure out how to make it private. And I was so aggravated. And right about now, if Matthew is still listening, he's going to say, I hate Discord with a passion. All right. I'm out of here. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for everything. New merchandise will be going up soon. Once it does, I will send it out there. Let you guys all know. Thank you. Again, hey, if you guys are not on, if you guys are on Facebook and you want to join the group, Punks with Toys, that's the group. Again, no drama, nothing like that. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful night, guys. You'll be seeing me sometime later on, I'm sure. Take care.